and barring no internet issues with the Spectrum that I have over here. Spectrum, you're beautiful people. Please don't hit me again. Don't do it to me. Not this time. I love you guys. Thank you for giving me great internet. I appreciate all the love you guys give me on this side. When I go off camera, I will be talking lots of shit about you. But on camera, I'm good. Welcome everybody to Sunday. Don't worry, guys. I am recertified. I'm an Xbox guy again. The fraud police did get me. Celebrating Sony this week. I apologize, guys. I got my license back, but I am joined. This is a great Sunday. Football, American football. Sorry, American football. Potting. That's this. This is a pod, by the way. If you guys didn't know, potting. And then we have, for me and Logic and Yankee fans out there, Yankees later on. Let's go Yankees. But today we are joined by a very special guest. This guy here, I'm not even, he's going to talk about himself, but he put out a video, and I'm proud of that video. That one video that he put out where he has his top 5 potters. I'm on that. You might want to go check that out. I have the link on there at the end of the show. You guys can check it out. But I'm going to let him introduce himself. The Ginna. He goes by the Ginna. I call him Ginger. No, I really don't. This is the first time I did it, so hopefully he lets me slide on that. But the Ginna's on the show, special guest. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, all right. I mean, it's been in the works, right? To get you on here. I mean, we've been on you guys' show, XBL Party Podcast, there for a couple of times now, and we enjoy that podcast. It's a Saturday equivalent to what we do on Sundays, but with a less cast. But you guys got that charm over there that I love. I love watching you guys every single Saturday. But I think I got to hit up Ash because I think I won something yesterday. I'm not sure. Maybe you can, guide me through that. Something that I won yesterday. But I watched you guys yesterday, and as always, great show. Again, the link will be down in the description when it's there. But as we always do the whole opening and catch up on the week. We have Logic here. Mike Cole, every single week. But we're going to do the Ginna first. We're going to start with him and have him see what he did throughout the week. So what did you play throughout the week?
Man, I've played a lot of games, and I've hit that stage where I keep adding new games to my list before I finish other ones.
Yeah.
So Death's Door, I'm still trying to finish that game. That game is amazing.
Yeah.
I started The Artful Escape last night, so I was like, I'll chuck that on for 10 minutes. Sorry, not last night, the night before. I was like, I'll chuck it on for 10 minutes, just see what it's like. 3 hours later, falling asleep at my monitor. I was like, yeah, I need to stop now.
Yeah. Did you play with headphones on?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That game has to be played with headphones.
I went to see my brother-in-law earlier today, and he was playing it on his massive Samsung TV, and we were banging the window because he was sat there with his headphones on, playing the game, oblivious to the fact that we couldn't get in the house. And even for about an hour after we'd arrived, he's like, "Oh, I'll make you a cup of coffee in a minute. It's fine," And he just played the game for an hour with us all sat there. So we were just sat there chatting to his partner whilst he ignored us and kept playing because he just couldn't stop playing the game. Yeah,
it's a great game. All right, Artful Escape. You got the Artful Escape. I mean, if you guys have not tried that game, please try that game. It's on Game Pass. Takes about 2 or 3 hours. Well, depending how you play it, but it takes about a couple hours. Well, it took about 5 hours to complete it from start to finish. Great game. Okay. Anything else you did this week?
I still haven't finished Psychonauts 2, so I've been chucking that on.
Oh, what a crime! You got to finish that.
I know.
Put everything aside and just finish that.
And then I had a couple sent to me, like a Bitmaster, and I think the game you won yesterday, Arcane, Ark and the Dog, whatever it's called. I should know. I'm part of the giveaway. I've been sent that to review, so it's really stuck with me, that one. So I'm going to start reviewing that as well. I just got too many games, but it's a good place to be where you've got too many instead of nothing. So I'm enjoying
I'll definitely give that a proper playthrough once I got to get with Ash to see what's the proper way of getting that, but But I'll give that a proper run through. Definitely give that a proper run through. That's good. All right. So you've been playing games. You've been busy. They can't hear you either when they play that game. So it's one of those games that I played it on loud. So
yeah,
especially when you got my son behind me. So Logic, what'd you do this week?
The first words I've taken today. You realize that? Like not today, but like on the pod. I was letting you cook for a little bit because you were on a little bit of a roll there. between shitting on Spectrum and everything else. So
I mean, it's
saying
how
it
yeah,
because it's like you first you start with love and then you say what you really have to say. So
That's that.
nah,
They
man.
call that the corporate world the shit sandwich, the shit burger. It's like you get good,
Yeah, you
and
start with the
then
love
bad,
and then you hit them with the bullshit.
finish with love again. Yeah.
No, man, just another cool week. A lot of gaming, of course. League of Legends.
Yeah.
Always League of Legends, always on the grind, still on the grind, having a lot of fun with that with Turpin, of course. Fantasy football started too, so that in itself is a game, and I'm getting my ass kicked. Turpin's actually kicking my ass, so I'm pretty pissed off.
Is he here?
I don't think he's in. He's at a party actually.
Okay.
With somebody out there. They're doing a whole football, like how it is Sunday over here. It's like a national fucking holiday.
Oh, it's a holiday. Yeah.
So literally, I'm looking at the scores earlier on the fantasy on Yahoo, and you got Russell Wilson on the Seahawks. I had Metcalf, the wide receiver, 0 fucking targets the first half. So already I'm in a bad mood. This is like literally how. Plus, I have Gronkowski on the bench with 25 points.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
So,
we spoke about that on Thursday. Yeah. I was like, wow, you put him on the bench.
He's got me by 70 points right now. So, yeah. I'm getting my ass kicked. Anyways, but back to actual gaming.
Hey, wife. Wife in the chats.
Oh, what's up, Misty? Yeah, man. So actual gaming. So League. I was just actually playing a little bit of Hades, so that was fun. What else? What was the Destiny? Just oh my god,
Destiny. Yeah,
man. Trials. So we don't have to spend. We've talked a lot about Destiny over the last couple of weeks, so I'll kind of keep this short and sweet. The anti-cheat system that they brought into Trials drastically changes the game. There are so many things that I've seen from people coming out saying, okay, like not to say that it's easier, but like they realize that they're not going against 3.7 KDs every time they're going into a game.
Oh yeah,
it's still sweaty, it's still competitive, but it's not like wait, you're only hitting headshots. Wait, you're hitting me, you're mapping me. From across the map, and I have no shot. So it's like, and the way that they do rewards now, it's not based on actual wins. It's just based on even round wins. So progression, just grinding out the card. Once you get to 7 wins, if you continue to play on a 7-win card and get a win, you get a fuck ton of things, basically like enhancement cores and engrams that you.
It's more of you don't just get specific stuff. You get a spread out,
and it's spread out, and then you could target farm. Right, so you get your materials that you need for upgrading, and then you could even target farm weapons, and some of the best weapons are actually in Trials right now too. So it's just a whole lot of fun. So besides you jumping back on Destiny, one of the DOF guys actually reinstalled it. Another DOF guy reinstalled it. So it's like and they're on the free-to-play side too, but then I'm trying to see okay, if you like it, if this interests you, okay, hey, look, they have the Legacy Collection. You can find a key online for $40 for all the past DLC and stuff like that. So it's pretty dope.
I'm to the point where I even told you I was thinking about we're gonna start another podcast, a separate second podcast, just Destiny only.
Just isolated. Dude, it's a lot of fun, man. And they're really doing good with the story this week as well. Just in general, they just haven't. The story beat this season leading up until the Witch Queen and stuff. I mean, listen, we could go on, but I don't want to do that. We got other good topics. So yeah, for me, a lot of good. I mean, it sounds weird because Flight Sim. I needed to get the fucking points, so I started doing Flight Sim.
What pushed you to get to fucking finally play Flight Sim?
Reward. I need fucking Microsoft rewards.
Points.
The points. I need the points, and I'm trying.
Microsoft had to say, "Bro, here's points. Here's play the damn game."
All right, I'll go get an achievement.
Okay.
It's not even I looked up what's the easiest achievement. I'm actually going through the tutorial. So, and surprisingly enough,
by the way, that's the easiest one. This tutorial.
So my first interaction with Flight Sim, real quick, was mouse and keyboard. It was pretty cool. You move down and you can see all the instruments and stuff. Okay. Not on Xbox. I played on PC when I was playing. So now on Xbox, though, the only way to get the points, you need to play on the Xbox. So on the Series S, it's running pretty decent, pretty solid. But the controller. But it's pretty intuitive how they actually map the controller and actually different button keys to you could make the yoke disappear when you're flying or touching the instrument panels and how to actually. It's very intuitive. That's one thing I will say about it. They didn't make it too hard or too difficult, but it is something. I don't think you could just jump into it and just start fucking flying. It pays to do the tutorial, and from my experience from playing it and stuff like that. So yeah, I got to finish that out because I didn't finish the tutorial because other games and shit. But
the tutorial. what I meant to say was it's the easiest achievement you can get on that, but it's still long. You still got to do like a bunch of tutorials.
It's good that it's long because if you don't learn how to do that, you're barely gonna know how to like.
Yeah, for those who thought Flight Sim was gonna just go in there, play a game, and you you gotta learn the flights, man. You got the yoking and the pulling and the. We're talking about Flight Sim, guys. Get your mind on the gutter. But
very lucky with Flight Sim. I skipped all the tutorials. I jumped straight in. And I said I've been putting jumbo jets underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, flying through the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I got so low as I went under the bridge, the landing gear automatically
with
came
a jumbo jet.
Yeah. I like messing around on it, just trying different things. I tried to land it on the roof of the stadium by where I live, but it has like an invisible box you can't see. So as I got too close to it, just hit and flipped the plane, and then you've crashed and what have you.
There was this one content creator where there's this place. I don't know what airport it is, but it's like one of the world's smallest airports. And he tried to basically land a Dreamliner on there, like a big ass like jumbo jet. And it's like the runway is so short. And then so his part one was him landing it. Part two was trying to take off, and like there was barely any space for him like to even taxi around, like to flip the plane. That in itself was like a 15-minute process just to angle himself back to the start of the runway.
You get like one shot.
And then and then there's water at the end. So when you take off, you're literally like right there by like the ocean. So like his landing gears, he had to try to get his gears up because if he didn't get the landing gears up, he was actually going to touch the water and he probably would have got dragged down and crashed. So it was pretty cool. Listen, people do a lot of cool content for it, and there's so much. Even when I first loaded up the screen, there was an update, and then they told me about all the different airports they opened up and the different planes they added and the different locales and shit. I'm like, okay, it's like it just keeps on giving, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, how was your week?
Wow, you guys had an eventful week. I had a good week. I got gaming in. For those concerned, follow me on Twitter. My son apologized. He's back living in the house. You know, he said something bad about Xbox, and I had to kick him out because, you know, Xbox all day, every day. You can't say nothing wrong about Xbox. You get out this house. You're not my child if that's what you're talking like. Anyways, he's back. So for those concerned, he's back. He's playing. He's working right now. So, but for me, let's see. I had to shout him out. I kind of always do. But Nick, he was playing a game called Alfonso's Arctic, Alfonso's Arctic. I'm not gonna promote this game because I fucking hate the game. He said he had a hard time doing it. He thousanded it, right? So by the way, he joined our party chat the other day. And you know, shit talker. As I knew he was one. He came in the party chat, right? Just fit right in, right? Shit talking. I'm going, all right, cool. And he goes, hey, Kills, I got something for you. I'm like, what? He goes, man, Alfonso's Arctic. I'm like, never heard of it. What is this? He goes, oh, I'll let you play it. It's a frustrating game, but I don't want to be the only one experiencing this frustration. I said, really? So you want to put this frustration on me too? He goes, yeah. So he's so excited about it, he sent it to me twice. And I'm going, you sent it to me twice. He goes, I want somebody else to experience this too. I'm like, no. Let just me experience it. I don't need nobody else to have a headache. So I started playing this game. It's a platformer that there it is. Yes, there it is. Alfonso's Arctic Adventure. Game of the year right here, man. This right here. There you go. The whole Mario Brothers. Can't tell if
you're being sarcastic or not, Kills.
This is it, right? This is it.
Looks like a Mario clone.
Don't let this innocent gameplay fool you. This game is pull. If I had here, I pull it. So I took the challenge. I went ahead and finished it. Complete $5. It's $5 in the store. Went ahead and completed it, but it was a fun little game for about an hour, maybe less than that. But I took the challenge, Nick. I took it. I accepted it. My challenge is next to you. I'm gonna find the game and I'm gonna gift it to you, and you're gonna play this game and you're gonna douse in it because this challenge. We're gonna go back and forth. It's not just about. I think it expanded past the tag snatching now. Now we're doing games. So that's where our relationship has gone. Thank you, Nick. I want to put that out there. I played this game, Artful Escape as well. I just started playing Artful Escape yesterday or 2 days ago. Couldn't put it down. I threw on my headsets like I always do. And the music in it is just freaking amazing. The shredding, the way you can shred, and then sometime in the middle of the game you can start custom. It's a small thing, but you can customize your character. I made him a zombie-looking character, pretty cool. But it's literally him finding himself and who he is, and having confidence. It's one of those games, having or the message in it, underlining message, having confidence in yourself and knowing what you can do and love what you do. Forget about what anybody got to say about you. Just do what you do, and the rest will take care of itself. Great message. The music was inspiring. It's just, I'm telling you, I put these headsets on, and it was just, I threw myself in the game. And my son's back there, as you know, Logic, yelling his call-outs for Rainbow Six Siege. He's on your left, he's on your right. And I'm going, shut up. I'm trying to listen to this game. But finished Artful Escape last night. Even the Ginna, like we messaged each other. We talked about that. Finished that game last night. I know you guys talked about it yesterday. I know you was in the pod yesterday with XBL, with the guys at XBL, but they talked about it yesterday. Beautiful game. Love it. Played that. Was able to get Destiny in, grinding my light levels up. Getting ready for whatever has to come, like the raids and all that. I'm glad that people are, DOF people are now finding, hey, let me re-download it again. Like I said, we probably gonna do a separate pod because of this damn game. Good game. Yeah. I love the pacing of it now is better. The farming, everything's better on it. Like it just
a lot of quality of life.
A lot of quality of life. Love it. Life is Strange True Colors. I don't know if the Ginna got that, but I ended up picking up Life is Strange True Colors. I know Ash wants to play this game. He loves this game. And he, I don't know why he hasn't got it yet, but Life is Strange True Colors, started playing that. A little disappointed. I think I have to wait for a patch because, and I hate saying these things, but it's playing less than 30 frames per second. It's really choppy. Like when you're moving around, like the background, everything is choppy to the point where it gives me like a headache and visual, like it just strains my eyes. I'm like, ooh, what's going on here? I don't know. The game is beautiful, but I think I need to wait for a patch for that to happen because it's just way too stuttery in the background. I'm going, oh wow, this is not good. And it's optimized. This is optimized as optimized. It doesn't look optimized at all to me. So I don't know what's going on there. I've been searching for maybe an update from the developer, see what's going on there. I don't see no messages on it, so hopefully they pick up on that soon. Played some Apex, as always, and then yeah. Oh, I got to enjoy what the other day to see on Friday. Let's see Shang-Chi.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, beautiful movie. If you guys have not watched it, for me, it's top. If not the top, it's up there in origin Marvel characters, like origin stories. This is it. Really good origin story. Great balance to the comedy and the action. But that's what I did. And then the Matrix trailer. I hope everybody watched. Can't wait for that.
I'm so excited for that film.
Oh man, it's literally Keanu Reeves playing John Wick in Neo in Matrix. Love it. It's just the Matrix. You know how that works? It's like crazy. But
I kept telling myself, it's not going to work. It's just they're bringing it back as a cash grab. And then as soon as I saw the trailer, I messaged my mates like, "Are we going IMAX for this one? That's
what me and Logic said. This has to be a movie theater movie. It just has to be. Yeah. But you can see how he kept his hair and his beard from John Wick, and they recorded at the same time, which is pretty cool. But with the games I played, with the indie games that I was playing, the Artful Escape, the Alfonso Arctic, we spoke about Song off camera. Was talking about Song of Iron. The Ginna did do a video. This is going to lead right into our topic, our first topic of the day. The Ginna did a video. You guys need to check it out. On the indie scene, and some of the things that at least me, when I look at indie gaming this generation, and I've had these conversations with my circle and other people. It's like, oh my god, they're killing it this year. They're doing a great job with these games. I'm playing more of these games than I have AAA titles, which is an amazing thing because they have a message and they have this and a story. I just spoke about the Artful Escape and Alfonso Arctic, but the Ginna did a video on like a different take on it, and I don't want to spoil that because I really want you guys to see this video. But I'm gonna have the Ginna speak about that. That's a topic you want to bring up, and the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, it was like you said, it's a surprise because I kind of reached out to a few developers on games I liked and was chatting to them. Sorry, my accent came through really strong then. I was chatting and and just trying to get the good news, kind of how well indies are doing, because 2021 is the year of the indie, right? It's every game, like you said, they're smashing it. So reached out to 3 devs, and the messages I got back off all of them weren't exactly what I was expecting. The first one was, yeah, we're not a success and we're not a failure. We kind of middled it. Enough money to make a sequel. That's kind of where they left things, which is, encouraging to see a sequel because I really like that game. The second dev I spoke to was one that's been, hyped up everywhere recently. I think you couldn't escape this game, Song of Iron. And
we did a giveaway on it. We did a giveaway, on our show. Yeah.
And, it's early days, but I spoke to him and he said the game hasn't sold anywhere near what he was hoping for. He's, found a bit of a struggle being a self-published game and, a bit of a learning curve in his things he wants to do for the second and the third game. It's just whether enough copies now sell down the line so that becomes a reality. And then the third one was Recompile, which is, an excellent game. Yeah, so it's, the visuals on it are incredible. It's fun to play. I love that game.
The music.
Yeah, and he was the most heartbreaking of all because the guy was on about coming on that Know You Creator session I do, and he was going to come on, talk about the game. And then he messaged me out of the blue because I contacted these other devs saying, yeah, I'm not going to be around for a while. I'm not, the interview's probably not going to happen. I've received news today that the game has tanked so hard that even if it goes on like a selling spree across all the platforms, I'm probably never going to see a penny from the game. And it was just heartbreaking because that game is amazing,
Wow.
I even offered to buy more copies from him. I said I can speak to other podcasts and, I know KY Bob knows, Dealer, and he's on Gaming Out, Beyond the Box. I said, we can get some of them to mention.
Right, he knows the RDX people, yeah.
Yeah, and his response was, it's beyond that point. It's like all that money would just go to the publisher at this stage. So Pyro's winding me up because we were messaging about the fact I can't pronounce I can't pronounce the developer's name. I got it wrong like 3 times during one video. I think it turns out his name is pronounced Sui, but it's spelled P-H-I. So I was like, is it Phi? Is it Phi? Is it Pi? I don't know.
Isn't that the Greek, like when they do PHI, it's like Phi Sigma, like, you know what I mean? Like, for the Greeks, like I'm pretty sure it's Phi.
Apparently it's sweet. Yeah. So
it's what?
Yeah, it's
sweet.
Yeah, like sweet without the T on the end.
Okay.
So
I would never have guessed it. Yeah, sweet.
Same.
Okay. Yeah. Like Sweden without the den.
I've been messaging this guy for weeks, calling him the wrong name. So yeah,
that's probably why he never answered you.
Now, just to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, I'm not too keen on. I mean, I know there's a place for indie games, and I think there's a lot of indie games that come out that are just amazing. Like, I don't think you necessarily need to have the AAA budget and stuff like that to make a great game. But also, too, like, I mean, I remember one of the first things we talked about, Kills, like on this podcast, was going over, like, literally our first podcast was covering an indie games, like, not announcement, but the showcase that
the showcase,
the showcase that Xbox,
ID, the ID. Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is that these developers, and I'm not too aware of it, were any of them or any of the people that you had reached out to, are they a part of that ID at Xbox, or was these just like a lot of these are independent? Like they really are like.
I know Song of Iron. I played it through the ID showcase because they had a demo out.
Okay.
So some of them are, some of them aren't, but for the most part, the games I think he mentioned were on this.
Because my whole thing is like, you see this push from like Xbox where they want to highlight indie developers and they say, hey, listen, these guys have really good things to show you. Their work is great. We want to highlight that and we want to bring it to the forefront. And so you would hope like backing, but then, from Ginna's reporting and he's reaching out to these people and it's like, and it's almost not that, it's 2 stories or something, but, something that maybe had like a lot of promise and a lot of hope and stuff and the backing of the major corporation, which is Microsoft and Xbox, and then to see it come out and unfortunately not do, the numbers projected. And then, how does that time, like, we have these discussions all the time about developers, in the big time studios getting paid for their work and stuff like that. When people try to say like, oh, the whole argument with Game Pass. It's like, oh, you don't pay these developers properly because you're putting them on Game Pass, and that we know that that's not how those deals work. But for these indie developers, like they're fronting it's like they don't have money up front. Sometimes they're going to your Kickstarters or they're going to these, open source ways to try to make money to fund said project, or they're just making the project and hoping that enough people will gravitate to it and like it and buy it so they can actually recuperate some of their money and time, because you know what I mean? Like the time is probably the most valuable thing that possibly like they're losing. I mean, they created something that they're passionate about and they probably love the work. So I don't see them being regretful, but I guess to not be reciprocated in the form of like, hey, it was a success, or hey, we're able to financially, you know.
That's the thing with indie games for me is, like I spoke with the games I just played throughout this week. It almost seems like when these developers when it's like dedicated one developer to a small team, they put so much passion into it that you feel the art coming across that screen. You feel the message.
Yeah.
And when I saw this thing that Ginna did, I'm going, it broke my heart, because I'm going, oh shit, these guys are literally putting their passion into these games. It's unfortunate because we have, the AAA games that everybody's always talking about. We're always talking about the Call of Duties, the Battlefields. We're talking about those, but those are established franchises that it's almost like I find myself finding time for the indie games just to watch my palette, but then go, wow, this is better than the $6 game I just bought, or the $6 game I just downloaded on Game Pass.
Right.
And Ginna speaks about this on the video with the how we say securing the bag up front. They get this, and then I guess they got to make choices on what they want to do with that. I think the Ginna mentioned Joe for the Song of Iron. What did he decide to do with that? Like, what did he do with that?
He's the only one of the three that isn't on Game Pass, but he actually wants to be. He said, like, the exposure it gets you and everything, if he could get on there, that would pretty much secure a second in the bag straight away. But one of the developers did get Game Pass paid in one lump sum, and it was a year before the game released, because with the money they got, they decided to take a year to make native next-gen versions of the game, which, maybe in hindsight that wasn't quite the right move.
So they used the money that they got paid for being on Game Pass to fund them basically improving the game that wouldn't have been coming out for a year anyway, to optimize it for next gen, and hopefully that when it actually released, it would actually do well. And like you said, it didn't.
Like a year before, they couldn't have known that there would have been all these shortages, and the consoles would have had the back, like a Sensei said, the FPS boost and stuff like that. That could have potentially negated the need for it. Auto HDR boost, you may not have needed to put as much effort in, and they could have taken that money, against what the publisher takes, and kind of made it easier to hit their targets. So yeah, it's heartbreaking. I have spoke to the Indie Gamer. He contacted me after this, because obviously he has a lot of interactions with indie devs and indie games and what have you, a lot more than I do. And one of the things he said is you see this quite a lot with indie devs when they first launch, especially their first couple of games. It doesn't hit what they want, but over time they can. He pointed out, like, Hollow Knight is a massive success now. When that initially came out, it didn't do well at all, and kind of held that dev back a bit. Now this is huge. So one of these games could, in the next month or two, just explode and get sales from nowhere, which would be amazing to see, because I love all three of the games. And I just want to see
everything you've mentioned. Most of the games I've played, other than Song of Iron, I haven't played that one just yet. I'm ready to play it once I find time for it. But I already got it, where to play it. But the thing, it's like you just mentioned with Hollow Knight. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes it'll sit there. It won't be as recognized, or awareness won't be put on it, or successful in whatever that means. But then, for whatever reason, months later, even 6 months later, or even a year later, the game just so happens to just blow up, because most of the time it's because they play something else that's probably either made by that developer, or how Xbox recommends you play this, like a playlist. You play this, I recommend that, and it'll come through that, and you download and go, whoa, this is great. And through your experience, now you're talking about it. You go on Twitter, you go on socials, you go on your pod. Hey, I played this game. You guys should try it. But you guys really should watch that video. We got I think Logic put the link in the chat.
I spammed the link in chat. Yeah,
spam the link in the chat, but it'll be in the description as well. At the bottom. Yeah, it'll be in the description at the bottom on the YouTube channel. But it's something that I know I'm passionate about when it comes to the indie scene. I love it. I talk about it a lot. So I'm happy that you was able to interview some of these guys and shed light on that industry, because as I told you before we started the segment, I was under the impression that they were like, with indie scene, it's like big and they're making money, and here's the Game Pass bag. And by the way, for those who don't realize, it's not as easy as them going to Xbox going, hey Phil, I want to be on Game Pass. Can I be on that Game Pass train? And then they go, here you go, you're on Game Pass now. Doesn't quite work that way from what I'm seeing and what I've been like looking into and researching. It just doesn't work that way. And the way that I've seen interviews with developers, indie developers are going, not even just indie developers, even AAA title developers are going, yeah, it's not that easy. We don't just, hey, can I get on? You're on. Great. You're good. Here's the bag. Microsoft is not,
we've seen how companies operate, like how a giant corporation will just gobble up another developer just to take their team and literally close down that project. They will close down that, they will just take the team for resources, because we need the people literally for resources. So, then you think about the indie scene and how many people want to try to get in. The same thing could be applicable for the music industry, for anything like that. Like, it's the capitalistic tendencies that we have as well too. It's like not everything's going to make it. It's like, and you have to, in order for your thing to shine through and stuff like that. Obviously, you'd be passionate about your project and stuff like that, but then do you have the right eyes looking at it, trying to get it out there, trying to put it on social media, or even maybe if you're fortunate enough, getting the eyes of an Xbox to say, hey, Xbox at ID, you know what I mean? Like, to actually really promote it and stuff like that, because I mean, there are a lot of games too that my brother got wind of, because he followed along, but that he put money towards, kickstarted, like the Vania game the Metroidvania game that I remember he kickstarted, that finally had a release date and stuff, that he put money towards, like things like that. Like, I think more or less, like, not to say like this should be something that indie developers do, but I think that most developers in some way, shape, or form should have a base, like of what their games are going to be. Try to promote that to an audience and try to get funding for it, so they're not so much reliant on like a game selling well or a game doing well, like, you know what I mean, like to try to get that type of funding or thing, so they're not just coming out of pocket. They're going to have work, and then like Ginna was saying, like the assumption, like, okay, hey, not everybody's going to have an Xbox, we're going to be in a down year, it's going to be COVID, it's going to, you know what I mean, like all these different things that you could never predict for. So just try to be as prepared as possible going into the scene. And set yourself, and not necessarily prepare yourself for, any type of like, bad news or things like that, but just prepare yourself, like if the adverse doesn't happen, if the game isn't as successful as you want it to be and stuff. So that's the only thing that I guess we could probably take from that going forward, and hope that we just, more developers and more publishers and things like that look into what's going on at the lower level and stuff, and because there's a lot of gems. There's
a lot of gems.
It's not necessarily something that I look into personally. Like, I'm never really the one.
But you might know somebody in your circle that would be like, you probably go, I don't play this, but
I know somebody who would play it. Yeah, 1000%. Yeah,
it's like what Nick did with his game that he gave me a headache with. But same thing. Now, you have like let's not forget Psychonauts, right? Psychonauts was Double Fine's studio, the small studio, where they did Psychonauts 1, and then they had to crowdfund Psychonauts 2 before Microsoft stepped in and said, here you go, we'll be part of our family now. They were struggling. People don't realize that as great as this game came out to be, because it's a great game, it's my game of the year, and I know that word gets tossed around a lot, but truly, this is my game of the year. It's one of those games where it wasn't what you played. If you played Psychonauts 2, that wasn't the game before Microsoft stepped in at all. They cut boss battles out. They cut whole levels out completely. Dialogue. People who already recorded their lines, they had to like say, you're not going to be in the game. Cut. Like all that got put back because they got so lucky that Xbox came in and says we want your studio to be part of the Microsoft family, and they were able to go ahead and produce what they had to produce. So yes, making games is not easy. For those who think it is easy, it's not easy, man. Especially for the indie developers, they are out there. They with the limited resources they got. They got to push their passion as much as they can. But
I don't know if you guys remember what happened to the Kerbal Space Program devs when they were working on the second one. Where basically Take-Two kind of bought the company who was funding it, and they effectively said, "Yeah, we're stopping production on the game." Moved it to an internal studio, and hired all the devs under the people who owned the studio's noses through LinkedIn, and then kind of continued making the game from a different. I think they were looking to purchase the dev or something, realized they could just bleed them out, kind of just stop the funding, and then just take the company.
And that's scary. As an indie developer, that's a scary thing. When you have a small team like that's passionate, and that happens, it halts your passion. Like you start having this bad taste in your mouth as a developer and going, I don't think I want to do this.
Well, and that conversation could tie you into like IP protection and things like that. Like, how much is your IP worth to you and stuff like that? And are you doing the right things to make sure you're covered if a situation like that occurs? Because then you see, like, if you get noticed and somehow your ducks aren't in a row, something like that, where happens where literally the rug could just be taken and you're swept out.
Remedy Games, they struggled a lot with their games. Alan Wake was almost not even a game until the IP got bought by Microsoft, which, by the way, they got back. They ended up getting back that IP. So, and I'm happy because I love Alan Wake, and that's one of the topics we have later on. But it's been spammed in the chats. The link to the channel. You guys got to watch that. It's also going to be in the description. It's one of those things that I don't know what to say. It's I hope it gets more recognition or more, I guess, build awareness around it so that people can start downloading and playing, even if it's for like just to check it out. Just to go check it out. If it's on Game Pass, it's on Game Pass. Just download and play, even that gets them to click, like, the clickbait type of thing. Even that gives them the click traffic. So I realized before I go to the next subject that I didn't do my normal traditional call outs of the chat, and they're probably like, this motherfucker, but I will be calling you guys out now. So we have in the chat, Other Zinc, nice to see you again. Fugly's back, guys. Cheers on you. We have Money, obviously Money asking for the invite for Destiny. I don't know what's going on with that. And then we have Six Slayer. Welcome. We have, let's see, Slayer. There we go. We're talking about XBL podcast. Slayer's in here. Slayer, Deliverance. Welcome back, YOLO. I think that means you only live once.
You only live.
Live. Okay, live. Okay. Fuck that up. All right. And then we have the wife who's probably already logged off. She's somewhere in the cooking somewhere back there. And then we have the Ginna, who's our special guest in the chats. Fabio, he probably went to sleep already, but he's there. Took me a while to call him out. Vegas, welcome back. I'm glad you were able to catch the show live. I know he said on Twitter, hopefully he can catch it live. So he's watching us live. Let's see who else of them is. Fabio's there. The Zinc. I did see Missing, and she's playing. I think I highlighted that, but she is playing. Hey, my boy in the chat. But Missing's playing Tormented Souls. I saw her put screenshots up earlier in the week, or I forgot when it was on Twitter. And I did some investigation, like, because I never saw the name, and I'm like, what is she playing? Because I know she called Resident Evil a comedy, so I'm going, it's a horror game, but she said that Resident Evil is a comedy, so I'm not sure it's that. And then today, your brother, Draven, put a review for Tormented Souls, and I'm going, wait, that looks like what she's playing.
Looks like what she's playing.
Right. So I was like, and I DM'd her, like, hey, is this what you play? Have you checked this out? She goes, yeah. Like, she says the screenshot with a controller goes, duh, like that duh moment. And I'm going, yeah, I kind of figured that's what you were playing. So what do you think about it? So she broke it down. Oh, it's Silent Hill, Resident Evil back in the days, the classic with the atmosphere and everything. I'm like, oh, so it's not a comedy. And she goes, no, it's not a comedy. We're having fun with it. All right. So she has been playing that. So shout out to Missing. See, I love the stories I have with the community. Like, I love it. Tech, welcome back. And he did say, long time. Oh, he's talking to you. Long time no speak. And then we have Vodka nice in the chat. Let's see. Anybody else is showing up? We just said Heartbeat. He's in the chat. Heartbeat, I need a Sunday off from you, man. I need you to request Sundays off. Not just 4 Sundays in a row. That's all I need you to request off.
Selfish.
Just 4 Sundays in a row.
I need you. Selfish.
I need
self-serving.
You. I need you.
Self-serving. That's fine. He can come and I can take a break. I go on vacation.
Happy birthday to his baby girl.
Yes, happy birthday.
Belated, but happy birthday.
Well, right? You didn't say I said happy birthday.
I did it. Okay. So I wanted to say it live on the podcast because I'm a friend. I didn't want to just text something.
He's going to fill in my spot. I'm going to go on vacation for a couple of weeks, and he's going to take over my spot.
That's why I said 4 Sundays in a row. That didn't catch that.
So I get to go. So then I get to go, and just you too.
I'm all about your mentals, man. Take 4 weeks off, man. All that. Take it all
Cheers.
off. But welcome back, everybody. Looks like we are taking off. Or let's go to our next topic. I don't know about you guys, but playing Xbox, I love sharing. If I'm too close to the mic, let me know. But I love sharing shit like clips and shots, screenshots. I love all that. But yes, I am that Xbox gamer that will call out something when it needs to be called out. This is how I got called a fraud. But anyways, Xbox needs their game sharing needs to be fixed. That needs a revamp. It needs to be redone. If you guys don't agree, then you're not playing Xbox the way I play Xbox, but it needs a revamp. That thing.
Go ahead. No, finish your thought.
It needs a revamp. I'm capturing my stuff at 1080p.
Yeah.
Like 30 frames per second. Like I can do better. Like I have a damn 4K television, and it's an HDR and all that bells and whistle stuff. And I think it's the HDR that's messing this stuff up. But some games are dark. Some games are too bright. It's something wrong with the capturing. I don't know what's going on there. But we got good news. It looks like Microsoft has acquired a company called ClickChamp. I didn't know nothing about till I saw they acquired it. And I did a little research, and I go, oh, they're going to bleed these guys into the Microsoft ecosystem with the Windows, which in turn means it can happen for Xbox as well. These guys are known for editing software. They're known for that. They're high-quality editing software. They have premium services and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to bore you with the details. You guys can research it yourself because I did it myself, and I'm not about to give you my research when you can research it yourself. Quick Google. But it's called ClickChamp. And I'm hoping that they do bleed this into Xbox because it needs to. Okay, see, Logic just threw all that out the way. So there you go. There's the research I did. So now you guys can just press pause and watch the research that I spent a whole day on. It's called ClickChamp. Microsoft acquires ClickChamp to empower creators. So I'm hoping that they do bleed this into the Xbox ecosystem as well. And I think they will because it's all Microsoft, right? It's all one ecosystem now with the game.
You would have to hope, but you never really know because of how big the company is. This could, for all you know, this could be for fucking Zoom.
Because it is a premium service. This is not just some simple
meeting,
right? But this is not some simple thing. It's a premium service.
But how they implement it, no, I know, but how they use this team and what they tend to use it for, yeah. Like, I mean, does that team know anything about like designing for for video game hardware or for things like, who knows, like coding and stuff? Like, no, we don't know how necessarily this.
I'm Microsoft. Here you go. Here's $8 billion. Jump on Xbox and get that right. That's it. Get it going.
I mean, I don't know if that's how much they actually did. They?
I don't know how much. That was just to figure out throughout there, but that will be my conversation. Hey, ClickChamp. There's Xbox. Go play.
In-browser video creation editing experience founded in 2013. I mean, there had, obviously there's something, that Microsoft sees there that they see that could help benefit them. What they decide to utilize this for.
Well, they're sharing, but they're sharing on the Microsoft, not Xbox, but the Microsoft side has been abysmal. It hasn't even been like and when you compare it to like Apple, what they do over there, and like it hasn't been relevant, period. So picking them up obviously means they're going to fix that service. It's a premium service. They're going to fix that. I'm just hoping that it does resonate into or bleed into the Xbox ecosystem, and make it even maybe a Game Pass perk, something like that, where you get Game Pass, because they're bolstering this up. This could be part of Game Pass premium, like the Ultimate thing. You get Ultimate, you get this, that kind of stuff. They're bolstering up their portfolio.
I don't like that.
No, I don't either. But it's business at the end of the day, so they're gonna have to make money somehow.
No, but I don't. Yeah, but not when you're talking about a tool like that's something like Remember, Xbox One, you had editing clips. Like,
you did.
I'm sorry. Those were better. Those were better clips. The Xbox One took better fucking game clips than your current next generation
it was called
system.
Studio, I believe.
Whatever
Studio something.
The clips that you were able to get, at least you got them, and you could pull the AV. Remember, they got uploaded to the cloud, and then at that point, you could literally. I remember my brother would take clips; they'd send them right to you.
You still got the cloud and all that. You just don't have the actual suites. You don't have nothing. You don't have no.
You were able, like I said, I remember I used to be able to log in. I can still see. I still think if I still log into my Microsoft like the cloud account, I'm pretty sure I still have clips from Battlefield. I want to say Battlefield 3. Or from the Xbox One that I had clipped and recorded and stuff like that. So I remember taking clips there. They weren't nearly as bad, like you said here. Like there's definitely room for improvement, and it's definitely something that hopefully with this type of, acquisition, they could utilize whatever these guys do and they could try to make an improvement and stuff like that. But does that need to be, like you said, paid? I think that should be available to everyone. That like, if there's talks about it trying to be implemented through Game Pass, I think that's a miss.
No. That was just me speaking just to speak. That was just me saying whatever.
No. But
obviously, I would not make money if I'm a business guy, because I would lose people doing that. It's on Game Pass. Well, now you're not going to get no kind of customers. So that's just me. That's not. They didn't say that. I'm just saying.
Right. No, I'm just saying. But there's other things like the tools and stuff like. So hopefully, whatever this company does and does well, hopefully they can find a way to integrate that in the current systems that they have, whether it be through Windows on PC, editing. Because that was, the last time you actually had. Remember, before I had Vegas, it used to be Sony Vegas. It's now Magix. It's still Vegas, the editing tool. It was Microsoft Movie Maker.
The Movie Maker. But that's probably the last time they had anything relevant.
There's clips that, but Movie Maker, I had to download an older fucking version that still worked on Windows 10. I had to download the one from like 2007 just to like go and like make simple clips and shit. I mean, they have other ones that I've shown you. There's literally editing tools. Everybody and their mother makes an editing tool now for gameplays. But that's the big thing. Not everybody could go out there, to your point before that I think you made offline. Not everybody could go out there and go and buy a capture card. Not everybody out there. So like the ability to be able to capture your game footage and share it then to the masses, not just to your friends on Xbox, but to be able to tweet it out or to upload it to YouTube or to have those things and stuff like that. Like in a perfect world, they work on that and they let you and they give you that ability to do that, but also make it where those clips don't look like shit. We have next generation hardware.
Right now, this button right here is pointless. It's literally pointless. Like,
I mean, it has a function.
Great, it has a function. I expect it to have a function, but the function I want more. I mean, I hate to say this, but there used to be a point where I can literally stream straight to YouTube or Twitch. Like it was just boom, or Mixer. I miss Mixer. Like I would be able to just boom straight through. Now I have to open up my laptop and go to Twitch and set up my whole system, my whole stream, and then go to my Xbox, open up an app, and then clap my hands twice. My wife just made dinner. I gotta go eat, come back, maybe drink a pint, and then I can go ahead and stream a damn live video, barring my son not being here.
It's easily the weakest element of Xbox at the moment. It's the most neglected.
It really is neglected.
I capture footage like the same as you. So when I do my reviews, I like to capture like little 30-second clips to put in, and you're playing, and about 2 minutes later, you'll get a thing pop up on your screen saying this is now uploaded. And then sometimes you'll capture loads. You'll be playing. You'll turn your Xbox off. You turn it on the next day, and all of a sudden you get like 10 notifications telling you screenshots of things
everything
that
actually got uploaded.
It drives me mad.
Another that draws me that gets me upset, or it's insane to me, is, do you ever know when the clip starts and stops?
Yeah.
I gotta do math to go, okay, so if I press it now, I get 45 seconds from this point to the back. Like it's that. I don't like that. I want to know. I want more out of my sharing. That's what I'm asking for. And hopefully with these guys, with this acquisition, hopefully, as a fan of Xbox, I'm hoping it bleeds into the gaming side of the business, where I'm able to go ahead and make that button more relevant and press it, and it gives you more options than just pressing it. Maybe go into a settings and make it where now it tells you you're recording from, when you hit the button, you're recording from here to here. You know exactly what you're recording, So
you can change that so when you press the button, it starts recording for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes.
Yes.
But then that stops you being able to record what's just happened, this one or other. So then if something amazing's happened and you've just missed it, you're like, well, that's gone. So what they should have is like you press it once for a screenshot, double tap it to start recording now, and then hold it to record so it's just happened, or just more options, because at the moment it's you can have 30 seconds or you can have a minute and hope something goes well, and that's it.
They can leverage the power of the cloud by always recording in the background, like a on and off switch for yourself to I want to happen or not happen, where it records in the background, like what the Gato does, where it records an hour of stuff in the background, so that
you get an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then you're able to go back into that footage and basically say and scrub it and say, I only want this part. This is all that, I played 6 hours of games, or I played 2 hours of games, but in this 45-minute stretch I had some really good games, so I just want to cut this part and go. Correct.
Something like that, where you don't always constantly have to be conscious of, now I got to press the button. Oh, this was like, let it do its thing in the background. Power, take the leverage of that cloud, leverage it down to that, and then I can always go back. And if you have to give me a 24-hour window for this recording in the background, then give that to me. That it's gonna go away in 24 hours, just so it don't clutter up the whole thing. I get it.
Yeah.
But give me something where I can go back and not have to worry about every single time pressing a button.
Well, no, just like your cloud, if you have Game Pass, so this is where I think Game Pass could be a thing or something like that. Like right now, I think if you have a Microsoft account, I think you get 10 or 15 gigs of storage because it counts as like email or stuff like that. Like that should use your storage. That should be tied to your cloud storage. So on that, so listen, by the way, this is not like free. Hopefully somebody's listening out there. Or maybe somebody could cut.
Aaron Greenberg listens to this pod every single week. He messaged me like 2 days ago.
Listen, Aaron, like, guys, we have the solution.
What are you doing over there? Like, come on, come on.
But seriously though, it's like it sounds simple. It sounds like a simple fix, but how bad do they want it? It doesn't like how many people are asking for it. I understand we're talking about it. A few other people are talking about it. But how many people are really fucking talking about it?
It almost seems like it gets to a point. It gets talked about. It gets to a point where the cream is like it rises and then it just goes like we don't talk about it no more.
It fizzles out, and then you're like,
it fizzles out. Like,
who cares?
We got to keep the gas pedal on this conversation because as a gamer, as somebody who likes sharing stuff, and when I used to play Call of Duty. It was something I like sharing. I like putting out there. I like showing my clips because Call of Duty is one of those games. FPS. I've been doing it with Battlefield. And speaking of Call of Duty, which is our next topic. See, I like the segue. It's a segue. Anybody here watch the? I know we're not into it no more, but the COD MP review.
I did.
Did you watch it?
I've been watching the beta.
The Ginna, did you watch it at all? I know it's not an interesting topic, but.
I've seen some of the footage from it, and it couldn't look more uninteresting to me if it tried. To be honest,
it's here it is.
It's trying really hard. It's trying really hard.
And here it is. It's Modern Warfare 2019 with a World War II skin.
It is. It's exactly my impressions of watching that MP review, and then I watched Jack Frag later on after the review, the stream they did.
Yeah.
And he, I watched him play it. And that is my takeaway. It's literally Modern Warfare setting of WW2. And for all intents and purposes, it's just not a game I want. I don't want it. I've seen, and then watching him play the game. By the way, their production, their stage setup and everything on that stream was beautiful. Like that part was dope. I was like, oh, okay,
but they always do that. The trailer, the cinematic.
Trailer, I'm talking about whether it's the actual
where they were sitting down. No, and how they kept swapping people out. But the production, they're never going to fail because when you have that type of money, you pay attention to shit like that. But it's the other shit that you just have to mail in. This team, and it's not the bad, but this team got removed from Black Ops to come and do this. And they were never supposed to be doing Black Ops in the first place. But now Activision is already seeing it. The writing's been on the wall.
That's what kills me.
The writing's been on the wall now. It doesn't matter. It's all hands on deck every fucking year now. That's all it is. I don't care if you're Raven, if you're Beanox, if you're High Noon, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, every single one of you, whatever the fuck I say you got to do, you got to do. And if you don't like it, goodbye. Yeah. And that's basically what it is. You wanted to work on a game? Tough shit. You're doing this now. Because we have to keep the factory going.
It's funny that you bring that up because last year's this COD that's currently in current rotation right now is it was supposed to be Sledgehammer making the game. And then they got pulled off. I don't know how late in the cycle it was, but from the reports, it was really late. Put Treyarch on it, and then they reskinned it to another Black Ops game, which is why we never, it's just another Black Ops game.
And you wonder why you only had like 8 maps at launch or whatever the fuck it
was.
Too.
But then I'm looking at what Sledgehammer's bringing out now, and I'm going, wait, was this supposed to be the game we were playing now in the rotation? Is this what they like? If that's what they got pulled for, and they want that to breathe more, it just seems like they don't have any more. They don't have the originality anymore. Like it's gone. You either get another Modern Warfare, which I enjoyed. You get another Black Ops, or now you're getting another WW2 game. Like there's no originality anymore. There's nothing new coming from. I remember the glory days where the perk system got introduced. That was a beautiful. Like when they introduced the perk system, I'm like, oh shit, what is this? There's
pick 10.
Mods,
remember pick
essentially
10?
mods.
But pick 10. So like
the pick 10 system.
Pick 10 system.
They were always innovating on the game front side of things, and it was always each studio. Like at the time, it wasn't Sledgehammer; it was just Treyarch and Infinity Ward, and they had a distinctive difference between titles. You know what you were playing and who made that title when you played it. Yeah. The modern setting was the Modern Warfare, hence the title Modern Warfare, and the Black Ops was the 80s and the whole backflash things, the grittiness of that. So you knew what you were playing, and both games were different in perks, in kill streaks, in just gameplay. Now you're getting a blah. You're getting a mesh of whatever.
This is a hot take, and I'm going to catch a lot of shit for it. I don't care. The last time they showed innovation was Advanced Warfare.
Correct.
That was your last innovative game, and the last good.
By the way, I hate the COD community for hating on that game so much.
The last solid all around good Call of Duty was, 2019. I think held up. 2019 was pretty decent, but I'd say Black Ops 3.
I will say in their defense about innovation, they do have some very small destructible walls now. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that. Like literally a meter and a half wide sections where you can run through it. It's pointless.
Go fucking load up Bad Company 2, and I'll show you fucking
There's a running joke going on right now. It's like, oh look, an enemy in the building, break that wall. And in Battlefield, oh look, an enemy in the building, bring the whole building down. Yeah, that's what Battlefield does. So it's like, great, cute. There's a little Overwatch war right there, or Fortnite, or whatever they do. I look. After watching Jack Frags play this game, it's more relevant. It's just in your face now that they're making these games for casuals. I forgot what perk he had on where it literally shows you the grenade trajectory or the tactical. Like it tells you in multiplayer
how far it's actually gonna go, like the distance in which. Yeah,
in multiplayer. I'm going. Yeah, you're making this for fucking casual.
I don't know if that makes it to the final cut, but if it does, that's pretty because then that's easy mode at that point. The game is already easy mode. Every gun is basically if you're not using the STG, like you watch.
Dude,
you don't even have to watch the top assist
and now that.
You don't even have to watch top tier players and pros play and stuff like that. Pros are getting, which they always do, 90 kills in lobbies and stuff like that, like going stupid, pub stomping and stuff like that when you watch like people play this beta. But anybody, like 3-shot kills, like time to kill in this game is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and once again, too, it's back to the weapons. I've used these fucking weapons in multiple games now. I'm done.
It's the same weapons over and I mean, you can't really do much with those anyway, but
not with
I'm at the point where I want them to.
Not with this setting, man.
No. I want them to create, just create a game, a FPS game. It doesn't have to be a theme of modern setting. Well, yeah, modern setting, but it doesn't have to be WW2.
You know what it is, Kills? Here it is. Remember Call of Duty Mobile in China?
Yep.
That they just ended, or even now, or even Call of Duty Mobile now. It wasn't Call of Duty Mobile. It was just like Call of Duty.
It was something else.
Where it was Call of Duty Online. That's what it was. That they actually closed down because Call of Duty Mobile is now big, basically.
Yeah.
What Call of Duty Mobile is, it takes from the entire franchise of Call of Duty, but then you get to use all the modern weapons. You get to use like the M8. You get to use like all the good weapons and stuff like that, but you get to play on any of these fucking maps. Yeah. Black Ops 2 maps, Black Ops 3 maps, Modern Warfare maps. It doesn't matter. Like, I just need the overall. It's like I want them to do just one Call of Duty game, and then just rotate the teams.
That's exactly where we're at with Warzone. Think about it.
Call of Duty. It is, but that's BR. They don't treat BR like, you know what I mean? Like, even if no, do I want it to? Because I understand, like, if you want to rotate the team to do stories and stuff and have like the single player, if you still want to keep that, that's fine. But just the constant rotations. And this is one of the games where you don't have to reinvent the fucking wheel. This is one of the games where you have classic maps that are some of the best maps. Just put them back in the fucking game and stop.
And they're doing that anyways.
It's overgrown.
And they're doing that anyways. They keep pumping maps in there.
They do it, but they don't do it to the point like it's all free now because that's one of the good things. You don't have to pay for DLC anymore, right? Now you just it's included. But the way that they get you is with Battle Pass and skins, and you get looped in and stuff like that. But this year they're bringing back what looks to be the loot boxes again, back from Advanced Warfare, like where the actual modded weapons.
Yeah,
like where you can literally get like modded weapons that are actually going to be. It looks like it's pay to win. What are we doing?
Which is what that's the one black guy. The biggest black guy Advanced Warfare had. It was the gun system, the way they have the loot crates on it, where speakeasy, you get a gun, you get the speakeasy. It was a wrap. It was the most overpowered gun in that game,
and not everybody could get it. Not everybody was able to
I got it towards the end of the life of that game, like right towards the next Black Ops coming. That's when I got that gun. It's like, oh great, now I'll get the gun. Everybody stopped playing it. So it's one of those things where Call of Duty. Yeah, yes, and money. They've already come out with 2 alpha betas or what do you want to call them, and Battlefield has not yet. But here's the thing: Battlefield's waiting for the bullshit to leave first before they introduce an actual first-person shooter that we are actually gonna play. So they gotta get the crap out the way first. You know how when you take a crap, you gotta flush the toilet. This is happening. They're flushing toilets right now. So that when they come on, they're like, oh, okay, this is what it actually should look like. It's why I'm gonna get a game like Insurgency. It's why I'm gonna get a game like that. It's if you want first person shooter, non-arcadey, Battlefield, you want to go with that, you can go with Insurgency. But Call of Duty, God, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is crazy. If you guys knew me, these guys did. If you guys knew me before this pod even happened, I'm thinking I'm all the way through Call of Duty, man. That was my thing. These guys moved on, left the platform, and they did everything else but Call of Duty. I was still playing Call of Duty. And I was the guy holding that flag going, yes, no, man, you guys don't know. This is good. I can't do it no more, man. Call of Duty, the last 3 Call of Duties have come out, it's been shorter and shorter that I've played it. And this is the shortest. Black Ops, I played it from when it launched, I think October or November when it launched. From November, February. The shortest cycle I've played of Call of Duty. I uninstalled it, installed it again about a couple of months later, played it for a few weeks and said, fuck this, done. I'm over it. I'm over. Like my son plays it behind me and I'm going, oh shit, what is that behind me? I cringe. But yeah, that multiplayer kind of did it for me. That trailer, the review, it did it for me. And the alpha going on this week, it did it. It just solidifies I'm not picking that up. I'm just not. You know, my son told me he might pick it up because he likes zombies and all that stuff, and that's his thing, zombies. But I can't dedicate myself to it.
Listen, my dad was in the chat, I think, last week when we talked about it, or the weekend before, and we were talking because that's normally the game that, like, me and him for the last couple of years, like, legit, like, he would go out, he'd buy the game for me, and, like, that's the game that we would rock out and play together. But I'm at that point where it's like, Dad, let's go to Battlefield, because he also loves Battlefield too. But Call of Duty he's burned so much time into Call of Duty because that's just a game that he loves. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's
I get it. No, I don't hate on that. I don't.
He grinds the shit on. He gets the weapon skins. He's into it. That's just his game. He loves that shit.
What was my thing? The prestiging. That was my thing. They even made that an irrelevant thing.
Stuff like that.
It's irrelevant.
They even change that now, like how it doesn't even make sense. Like there's no going to a level at that, because those people too, it's like it's so easy to grind out XP. There are people that just go into those zombie lobbies just to get the fucking weapon skins. Like nobody's getting skins legit anymore. Everybody's doing a zombie lobby to like a zombie lobby to go and like get your skins.
The skins and
playing the multiplayer and shit. I go back to the original conversation with fucking Titanfall. Going back to like how
their prestige system was awesome
in Titanfall, when you talk about multiplayer and stuff, like games like that would challenge and say, hey, do this, and that before we let you go and reset your rank and go do this. It's like, meet this criteria. But then, like you said, this is a game for casuals now. And that's fine, because
it really is.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter the situation. It doesn't matter the circumstance. This game, unfortunately, will still be the #1 sold game this holiday season.
Yeah.
And I could say that with full confidence. I could say that with full
it's sad,
fucking
but true.
confidence. Maybe by some weird fucking chance that, Halo jumps up there. I don't see Battlefield jumping over it. Like, that's what I mean. I'm with you. Maybe. But not, it's a multi-platform game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, literally all eyes are on it. Doesn't matter. They get everybody and their mother to fucking promote it. Like, it's just, it's
well, you got these, I mean, so the streamers that are like your Ryan, your Prestigious Key kind of guy, that guy, he lives and breathes off of Call of Duty content. That's his thing. So no matter how bad it is, that's his bread and butter. He pays his bills with that. So he's stuck. And that to me is like, man, I wish these content creators were like span out and do just more than one thing.
And the Warzone, they moved to Apex. The Nick Burks of the world.
You know what I'm talking about, the Prestigious Key kind of guys. Like those guys are just constantly moving.
Or the sniper, or your sprats, or your
they stick on one game and just
where it's like just they play the snipers and stuff like that. But then it's like off season comes, and then they're like, let's go make clips back from Black Ops 2, or let's go join this Black Ops 2. Like, and then they're rehashing games and like, yo, who's got an Xbox 360 so we could run this game? Like, they do shit like that in the off season and stuff, waiting for the new game to come out. But I don't know, man. It still just feels like rinse and repeat. And that's cool.
No, it truly is. It is.
It's cool for a lot of people, but not in this setting. This is the skip year. That come at me when you put some jetpacks on the fucking back of people. Maybe we get the Modern Warfare 2, but I'm telling you,
my main in Apex is Valkyrie, because she has a jetpack, and I legit make potato players look like potatoes when they play me. Like when they're left triggering me, I just jump right over them, and they're stuck with that whole left trigger, potatoing the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, that's why I love jetpacks.
Titanfall with the wall bouncing, just running, like when you're actually like bounce, like all that. I like the games with the mobility, man. That's just me personally. Like I also like games too where it is like Battlefield, but Battlefield's different. Why? Because it's a post-modern day fucking setting. At least now.
Money, no, I don't remember this money. I don't know what nostalgia you're living, or what something about. Remember when I joined Titanfall late and stole the achievement y'all wanted so bad? I don't know what he's talking about. Like that's. You remember that?
I must have blocked that out in my memory.
Yeah, it's mentally blocked. All right, that just like this comment, it's gone. I don't know what are you talking about? Money? Don't know what you're talking about.
Anything left to share with Call of Duty before we move?
Yes, one last thing. Fuck Call of Duty. All right, so we're moving on.
I was going to say,
Ginna, hold on.
I used to buy it every year because my wife likes Call of Duty. I'm a Halo guy. She's Call of Duty.
Nice.
I got the last one, Black Ops Cold War, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the one that's in rotation now.
She hated that game. The only mode she liked on it was what's called Prop Hunt.
Yeah,
us doing that. Great fun.
I love Prop Hunt.
Yeah,
love it.
Cool.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a party game.
Yeah, she won't play any mode on there. She doesn't like the battle royale. She doesn't like the maps, the weapons, nothing. She just hates it.
I uninstalled it, so I wasn't there long enough to know. Did they bring Prop Up back to Cold War?
They did. It was really good. Yeah, you could be an arcade machine and.
I enjoyed that mode. That mode is so goofy.
On Checkmate with the plane, with the plane shit, there was a lot of cool hiding spaces.
I missed out on that because I love prop hunt. That I'll play. Yeah. I love doing that. It's so fun, like just to become a prop and just hide and I miss it, but because I think that was introduced back in I don't even know what game introduced that. I think it was.
Was it one of the? It was one of the Black Ops games.
One of the Black Ops games introduced it. Then it got put into Modern Warfare. I think even World War II did it. I think they
did a really good version of World War II.
Yeah, it was really good there. But no, you guys already know it's a miss for me. Is it a miss for you guys?
Yeah.
The Call of
Duty. Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we're all picking up Call of Duty then. Let's move on to the next topic. This is we talked about this off camera, but the Alan Wake thing. The Alan Wake thing to me is we spoke about how the indie scene and how the struggles happen and how Remedy was one of those studios. People don't realize that Remedy is one of those studios that they struggled for quite a while when they were making Alan Wake. They couldn't get the funds for this. They couldn't get it off the ground. There was a lot of struggles trying to even make this game for Remedy until Microsoft came in and did what they do, where they white knight the whole thing and they say, hey, we got money, make the game, but we want the IP on our ecosystem. So Alan Wake happened. I'm happy that they announced a remaster to this because my son recently played it about a couple of months ago. He enjoyed it, but it was rough. It's rough. It's a 360 game, so very rough. But not only are they remastering because it looks rough, they're going to bring it up to date with the visuals and that kind of stuff. Not a remake, it's a remaster. So they're going to throw it to the 4K machine and let it do its thing and polish it. But I'm happy that gamers are able to experience it now for the first time. It's an old game. People are going to experience this for the first time now with the remastered version. Not only just on Xbox, but on PlayStation as well. They're going to get to experience this. What I want to happen, and Draven, your brother, we think alike with this. What I want Alan Wake to be successful, even if it's a remaster. I hope people pick it up and play it and enjoy it because I want a sequel. And I know a sequel is probably already implemented and coming because we played Control's DLCs. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's in there. It's in there. Like the whole Alan Wake thing, it's in there. So I see a sequel coming. But I'm hoping that people pick this up and play this game. It's not your typical horror game. It is not. It's the world they built in this is very layered. The world is the actual character in this whole game. You playing as Alan Wake, but the world is a character of its own. So it's always ever changing. It's always the atmosphere is crazy. But I'm hoping that people pick this up when it does come out. I believe it comes out next month, October.
I mean, and it was shown during, I believe, one of the things because I started seeing it's funny. I get these weird, like, on the timeline, like, in Spanish, like, a lot of the times, a lot of the leaks I'll see for games or announcements and stuff like that, they're coming from people, like, from, like, fucking Mexico and, like, just Latin America and things like that. Like, they're in Spanish. I'm like, and because a lot of those people are checking their rating systems in games, that because that's that's one of the ways to find out, like, how a game's getting leaked or stuff. If the game's been sent in for ratings, and sometimes before they get to the ESRB, like over here that we have, or I think for you guys, it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes they do the other countries first before they get to, like, where it's launching here, and they send them out for ratings. So it's like, I saw the picture, and then of just Alan Wake, and then it said remastered and stuff. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then to see that it was announced because now it's Remedy, like you said, got it back. So now they announced it, and I guess they gave marketing. I'm assuming marketing rights to Sony.
Yeah. It looks that way. It looks like market rights are Sony.
Market rights to Sony, but the assumption is, because I think it's coming, or they said that it was coming for all.
Oh yeah. No, this is all platforms. Yeah.
It's coming for all platforms.
Not just current gen, but old last gen as well.
But we started, and we'll talk about, obviously, once we get to our next topic. Yeah. But like with the showcase and stuff like that. But yeah, this would be cool if this is kind of like, hey, for those of you that didn't get to experience this, check this out. Oh, by the way, it's, they're saying remastered, correct? That's the term that they're using.
Remastered, because now we have remake and
hopefully it's not just the brush, right? Remake. We already see remake Final Fantasy VII, or the other topic that we'll talk. Well, it'll come. You know what I mean? Like, listen. Yeah. So but people are getting really interesting with these R's, remakes, remasters.
Remake, remastered and redux.
So hopefully it isn't really just a fresh coat of paint. Hopefully they did tweak some of, like, make sure, like, the gameplay felt good and stuff like that. Almost like what they do with Mass Effect. Hopefully they did that type of pass to it, like quality of life. Like, because Alan Wake came out on the original Xbox. Wasn't Alan Wake an original Xbox title?
It was Xbox 360.
I thought it was OG Xbox.
No, 360.
Oh, but it was early 360.
It was very early 360.
But it was early 360, and then it was PC as well, because I remember it being on PC as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's dated. It's a great game, but it's dated. So, like I said, hopefully they were able to bring it forward for this generation.
I don't know if they mentioned this or it's part of the announcement, but I wonder if the DLCs are coming with this, like the American Nightmare. Like it was 2 DLCs that came out after, one or two. I know American Nightmare is one.
If they included that into this,
the remastered, let us experience the whole thing all over again, remastered, from the whole thing. That was another one. The American Nightmare was a good. It was at the time called an expansion, because it was episodic. DLC is what they called it. Back in those, that's when because
that's when they were trying to do the whole storytelling thing. Like, this was Alan Wake was one of those first games where you were getting, like, that storytelling, and we saw Microsoft do, they got, like, that Quantum Break, I think was another one too, where they try to integrate, like, here's a video game, and then here's going to be, like, this episodic content that comes out along with said game, and then to kind of tie.
Which I wish Xbox would embrace more games like that. Like, I wish they would embrace those kind of games and like unique titles, not like the cookie cutter, all the same, like, sequels of everything the same. Like, I want games like Quantum Break to be a thing with Xbox. I want like Alan Wake to be a thing. Like, those games are unique, man. Like, when you play that, there's nothing else out there you could play just like that. Especially with the Alan Wake. So I'm hoping that they are doing the whole thing from start, like that, with the DLC content as well, from start to finish master. But this will be available on all platforms, and I speak of PC, PlayStation, and the Xbox, on current gen and last gen. It'll be on all systems. Yeah. So that'll be refreshing. Hopefully, those, I've seen a couple of people tweet that have never even played Alan Wake ever before.
Right.
So I forget, when you look at Twitter, you have people on Twitter that's like 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, never really experienced this game. I'm going, holy shit, you guys are in for a treat. It's a great game. What do you think, Ginna?
I saw something the other day, actually, about feeling old. That said that the 360 is as old as the Mega Drive if you went from the 360 to the Mega Drive. Like, we're that far away from it. That makes me feel old, man.
It does. Every time we speak about the 360 era, it's like, oh Lord. Like, when they brought Alan Wake out of the thing, because for us, Alan Wake has always been a discussion one way or another. So it doesn't feel as old. But the moment they announced a remastered, my kid, well, he played a few months ago. He played the Alan Wake from start to finish. And I saw how dated it was, and he pulled up, like, he opened up the description on it, and when he saw, well, I forgot what year it was, I was like, wow, this game is it's a classic. But it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It seems like literally I just played it like, last generation towards the end of 360,
But it's two generations back.
Yeah, but now it's 2 generations and going into like this new generation. So I'm just happy that people are going to experience this for the first time in a good way with the remastered. Not remake, because remake, we all know what a remake is. I hope we know what a remake is. Remake is something like what's that? Mafia 1. That's a remake.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. That's a remake.
No, because I would say the Legendary Edition for Mass Effect.
No, that's more of a remastered. Yeah, remastered. They remade. No, they didn't remake one.
No, they didn't remake, but they did updated. But they updated textures, gameplay, things like. They didn't just. It wasn't just one of those like, hey, remember this game in 2006 that was only on PC and then and it was on 360, but it didn't play like you fucking wanted it to play, but you still loved it so much because hey, BioWare and all of this stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that. But yeah.
Resident Evil 2 and 3. Yes. Oh, Dragon. Well, I already highlighted you, but I didn't shout you out. What's up with Dragon?
Those were remakes, I guess you would say. Like
he's talking about, okay. I guess he's talking about the most recent ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are remakes. Those are remakes. Yeah.
New cutscenes and all that. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And I like that because they keep what made the game in the game, make it look good, but then they add, the way they thought how it should have played out. Final Fantasy is a great example of that too. I'm
excited. Sorry, yeah. I was gonna say I am excited to see the game back. Like, it was such a good game.
You gonna pick it up?
Well, this is the thing. When I was watching the unveil and they were showing, it's back, it's remastered, and he was shining the light around and moving. I was like, this is Alan Wake. I remember. I can't wait to see what this looks like. I was expecting it to cut to the new graphics at some point, switch over, and then it ended, and I was like, oh no, that was the new one.
That was the new one.
That was it. Yeah. That's why I was careful in saying it. We stressed out remastered because this day with this new generation of gamers, we have a lot of remakes, remasters, and confusion on what's what. And it's a shame because I wish they would really explain themselves and say a remake, we're doing it from the ground up, or a remaster, we're running it through the 4K mill, not like that kind of stuff. But I'm with you, and that's a good segue because the next time we'll talk about the PlayStation Showcase. With the PlayStation Showcase, they did show off the Alan Wake remastered on that. I was with you on that. I was hoping they cut off and go, now we're going to show you what it's going to look like with the bells and whistles. And I'm going, no, please don't tell me that was it.
Hold on, Kills. Before you do that, I have to sell out a little bit, actually. So.
Remember, we just got our card back. We just got a renewal for fanboyism.
No, we're giving it away. No,
we're gonna give that card back. All right, cool.
So I got to change. So we got the blue. So you see the blue highlight. So it's no longer green.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. No. We got to listen. We got to get in the.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out. I'm still an Xbox centric channel. Don't freak out. Those in the chat.
This is so new announcement here today on Sensei Sauce Podcast. We're actually going to be covering PlayStation from now on.
Oh shit. I was waiting to the end of the show to do that, so that when the camera hits 0, people watch it.
Everybody leaves. No. Yeah, man. All right. So go ahead, Kills.
So the PlayStation Showcase. Okay, so they did show off Alan Wake on that remastered. I'm with the Ginna on that. I was hoping they showed off like, this is what it looked like. This is what it's gonna look like next. And I'm going, wait, that still looks the same. I don't want to sound like a sourpuss here, but it still looks the same. But still happy that those who have not played this game will be able to experience it. It is quite old game. For it to go, I guess for a game like that being 4K, it literally needs to be remade. Because it to get that sharp look to it and everything, it's almost impossible. They showed off that, and they showed off one of our favorites, KOTOR. They opened up the show with KOTOR. I'm not gonna go into like every single game they shown because every it's just you guys saw the show. But KOTOR is being remade.
I wasn't expecting that. Was anybody expecting that?
Nobody was expecting that.
Expected that. And also, the second it was announced, I'm sorry. I'm gonna listen.
Heartbeat says leaving.
That's fine. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Watch the numbers drop. Fuck, PlayStation, I'm out of here.
Listen, here's the thing, okay? Everybody's right and they're entitled to their own opinions and all that stuff. That's all good. And Danny and stuff like that. As a gamer, though, there are a lot of games in here that I'm sorry, it's hard to not be excited for. KOTOR, I have very fond memories of that game. And it is a nostalgia. When we talk about things like nostalgia, we just had the Alan Wake conversation, and that was one of the gripes that people were trying to say about this showcase. So perfect segue. There were a lot of the game that's shown on the screen right now, by the way, this is God of War Ragnarok, okay?
Oh my God.
Which just amazing, okay? This is the 4K upload, by the way, too. Is it coming to you at 4K right now? For those of you watching on YouTube, it's only 1080p that we're broadcasting at. But this is the 4K fucking footage. You can go to YouTube and pull it up, and if you have a 4K capable monitor, you can watch it. And at that point, if you're going to tell me that it looks a lot like God of War,
no, I'm going to stick with the narrative. Is 720p looks like dog water.
That's fine. Okay, listen. Whatever makes you happy. If it makes you happy, like that. Like whatever.
Being mad and frustrated makes me happy.
Whatever makes you happy, that's fine.
Okay.
I saw this and I got very fucking excited. If it's more of the same, I guess it doesn't take a lot to impress me. Personally, because I thought it's one of those, like, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. Kind of like if the animation jumping in a fucking boat doesn't need to be fixed, leave the fucking animation alone.
Leave it alone.
And rant. And fucking rant, okay?
And he just finished his rant.
That's it. And that's it. And just, I think I'm excited for this. This is a system seller. This is a console seller for me personally. This is why you should own. What is it? Wait, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm just trying to. I'm just being funny.
I was onto something, and then you just like fucked me up.
Right. No, I'm sorry.
Listen. All right. Anyways, this is cool, man. Come on, like, tier. Like, this is cool.
It is.
This is cool.
It is. Can I go back to Kotar?
Yeah.
Kotar. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody expected Kotar. It's coming. It is a remake, ground up. They hired some writers, and before we get this, I don't want to talk about the writers. Forget that. I'm just get that. But it's a remake of a game that nobody expected, unless you like been in tune to listening to the rumored mills and all that. It's been talked about for quite some time. The studio that is creating this has also made other in that universe kind of thing with the Lucasfilm. So they've been Aspire. There you go. They've been working with Lucasfilm on other titles. Republic Commando, I believe, is one of them they've made. But now they're making Kotar. It looks like it was just this right here. Nothing. They didn't show any gameplay or anything. So I'm hoping that they show off more, like as it progresses. I want to see what it's going to look like, because it is a remake, and they already mentioned ground up. So
we don't know where this is at in development. This could be early. This could be literally. This is where it's at. Like I said, nobody was fucking expecting it in the first place. This is also, I think, from what we understand too, because I guess, full disclosure, it's a timed exclusive, right? I think we got that.
Yeah, the wording is it's console exclusive, PC, but then it says launch window.
Right. So
which I don't know. A launch window could be 3 months, 6 months, a year. We don't know what launch window is, but
we already know what that means, though. But we already understand.
It's going to be on other platforms. It has. Correct. It's fucking Luke. It's Kotar, originated on the original Xbox, so it's going to come to Xbox. Let them test it out, and we get a good version of it in the future. That's how I look at it. But it's one of those things where, for me, as a gamer, I looked at the showcase as a gamer. You already guys know I tweeted how excited I am for the fans of PlayStation and what they're getting out of this. I'm excited for them. That they're happy that they finally got a showcase that was better than what they've been getting. Because let's be real, State of Plays were not that great, but this here was good. It was good enough. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It was a good showing. They did in 40 minutes.
You changed it. I'm gonna keep you. Listen, I'm gonna keep you a buck because I have to full disclosure. You said 10 out of 10. And
I started 10 out of 10 because that was my initial "oh my god" reaction.
I was like,
right?
"Oh my god," because it was a lot of
and it's on Twitter.
"Oh my god" shit.
It's on Twitter.
That's why. Yeah. And listen, it wouldn't be us if I didn't, because we're not going to try to push any narratives.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
This is how we were rocking. You were like, "Yo, 10 out of 10." I was like, I see that. I see why you would give that. I say a little bit lower only because I didn't like a lot of the marketing game. I wasn't the Rainbow.
I started thinking about it, and I started going, well, no. 8 out of 10 because of certain things. Like I know it's a far fucking stick to throw, and I know it's probably never gonna happen. But SOCOM, I was hoping something. Yeah. So it's just me.
Automatically, you're disappointed.
I'm like, damn it, no fucking SOCOM. It's just my game. SOCOM.
That's us with Splinter Cell. Like, think about like what we were expecting out of.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
You know,
so
we got
because that wasn't
Rainbow
shown.
Six.
Yeah, because that wasn't shown. And I guess the fact they show Rainbow Six kind of like the that part.
They have the marketing.
They have marketing. I didn't want to see it again though. It's like I'm not interested in that. That's why I gave it an 8. Initially 10 because I gave it a 10 looking at it as a gamer and going, wow, what am I seeing right now? You have your Spider-Man, your Venom. I think I hear Craven in that damn trailer. Then you have your Kotar. I mean, what was that? Project Eve. Like, are you not excited about Project
Eve looked insane.
Like, Project so that was my initial whoa, you know?
One, you would thought, wait, where's Platinum? One, you were waiting, and it wasn't Platinum.
Yes.
That's what, originally you were like Platinum Games, and it's not Platinum Games. It's this company called Shift Up. So like, all right, cool. Then you're like, wait, this is Bayonetta's like, sister. Like it's got like, you know what I mean? Because
she was in space and she gets thrown into space, and I'm going, what am I looking at? I thought Platinum Games, and I thought
everybody was yelling Nier. Everybody, that was another one too. A lot of people got Nier vibes.
The Nier vibe, but I also got when she started flying, I got that vibe of what's that? When Unreal Engine was shown off, the 5 was shown off on a PlayStation State of Play.
I
know they showed off the engine and she was flying. I'm like, wait, is this that game? But then I was like, no, wait, that's Unreal. That's a whole different thing. But I did get Bayonetta vibes out of it, big time.
This was sick.
Yeah,
this is a multi-class as well.
It is multi-plat. Which let's be honest here. A lot of the stuff that is shown was multi-plat. I didn't look at it that way. I just looked at it as, wow, this is amazing. But a lot of stuff that they show off is multi-plat. The exclusives is like a few years off, but then they showed off things like when they showed Spider-Man, like the Miles Morales Spider-Man, and then you hear what I think is Craven, and then obviously Venom, which by the way Tony Todd from Candyman is the one voicing Venom. I'm going, dope. My God, they brought him to do the voice because I think he's the one that does the voice for the movie, the Venom movie. I think he does the Venom voice in the movie.
Wait, that's not Hardy that actually does that?
No, Hardy's Hardy, but when Venom talks, it's Todd.
I thought that was a modulated voice of Hardy, but I guess
Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I thought it was him. Tony Todd doing the voice. But when I saw this showcase, yes, initially I said, damn, 10 out of 10, because I was just as excited to see these games shown like any other game it was. But obviously, once we got into it, we got XBL coming to our party chat, and we spoke about it. Like several people, we spoke about what you guys think, what you gave it. And I toned down. I said, you know what, an 8 because of these things, and we went that route. So I got a lot of shit for it, but it's like, whatever.
Did you join? I'm sorry to cut you off, Kills, but I just wanted to know too. Did you join the podcast when Ash and everybody?
No, he didn't. He didn't. No.
Okay. I'm curious because I just want to know, because we heard Fabio, because the funniest shit. I'm telling you, literally, we're talking about it. We're in there. Fabio joins. He's like, "Hey guys," I'm like, "Yo." He's like, "Hey, can I bring everybody else in?" Me and Kills were like, "The fuck? All right, let's go." Yeah. Next thing you know, Ash is coming in. Everybody, I think Redders came in.
Redders, Ash.
I love Redders.
Yeah, Redders came in, and then it was me, Kills, and my brother Draven, and then it just became this conversation. Like, all right, what you guys think? And then it was because remember I don't want to say that we're the Xbox. I'm not going to say that we're the gamers. We're going to give our honest fucking opinions. Yeah, no, we are Xbox centric and stuff like that. But there are a lot of games here that, hey, here's another thing too that got taken away that people want to use for the fanboy talk and all that. A lot of the games that were shown too are coming to an Xbox near you and for free if you have Game Pass. So let's put that fucking disclaimer out the window as well too. And when you wait a little bit, they're timed exclusive. We saw Deathloop again for the 17th fucking time.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Somebody said they should delay that game for another year and just show us trailers.
Right, and then by the time it actually comes, and then the first thing I said when I saw that, I think I typed to Turpin, who's in the chat. What's up, Turpin? And I said, "Hey,
what's up, Turpin?
I can't wait to play this on Game Pass in a year." That's why, and I didn't say that to be funny or stupid. It's just that's not the game that I go out and I get and I play on a PlayStation.
Even if it came out on day one on box.
Yeah. That's right, exactly. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait to play that on Game Pass. You know what I mean? And the same is true for a couple other games that we saw on there. But I'm just curious to know, overall, just what your take was from this, and honest take as well too. That's just honest take from what they've shown.
considering we have Xbox, the aficionados in the chat, you have to make sure you know.
There it is. Look, speaking of the devil.
Yeah,
look at,
the
what
moment,
I literally said his name and he just appeared. Like, is that how that works? Is it like fucking Beetlejuice over here?
Yeah.
Like, Redders. And he's here? Is that
it's because I said I find him so funny. He has started burning. He's like,
by the way, in that party chat, I voiced I voted. I said Redders has to be a permanent. Just that's it. Sensei's thoughts has spoken. Redders has to be permanent.
There may be some movement on that front. You'll have to speak to Ash, but
breaking news. You heard it first.
Breaking news.
Oh, breaking news. Okay, all right. See, we break news too.
So my thoughts on the show were this is 40 minutes long, and for 30 minutes of it, I was pretty fucking bored.
Okay.
For me, it was like I was talking to my mate about it, and we use a lot of analogies, not all of them good ones. And I said it's kind of when you're drunk, and back when you're single, and you get a girl home, and it's a bit awkward, and you have really bad sex, but at the end, you still do your business, and at the end of it, you're like, oh, that was great.
Like, hey, I had sex. At least
exactly.
I had sex.
It's bad for like 30 minutes, but then you still get to do your bit at the end, and it's like, yeah, that was great. Yeah. That's over, type thing, and you only remember that last 20 seconds of the full minute, So it's I think they finished it strong with things that we knew they were going to do, and they looked good. And then there was surprises like this, like Wolverine. I think it suddenly became acceptable again to show logos and CGI after that was a no-go.
And you know what? And I don't want to give contention, and this isn't directed towards you, but I don't get involved and bogged down in those conversations. I understand that people from the other side say, no, we can't like Starfield. CG, no. So then it's like, so then we see PlayStation do said thing, because we know that
logos
not only knows how far they're into fucking development, because they got Spider-Man 2 that's probably was already in development the second they finished Miles Morales, and then they were like, oh hey, by the way, they pitched Marvel.
But we've said Sony, we've said this privately, not that it matters, but we said this privately that we're gonna get excited for things we get excited for. Whether it's a PlayStation, whether it's an Xbox, and it's a logo or a CGI, I saw Wolverine. I fucking got excited. That's it. Right. We know what Wolverine's gonna play like. Let's not act like we don't know what it's gonna play like. Oh, it could be an RPG. It could be card based. It could be it's Wolverine. You know what?
It's Wolverine,
know exactly what it's gonna play
Insomniac, like. And Insomniac, as of late, doesn't fucking miss.
No,
they don't miss.
Well, they got the whole PlayStation brand on their back right now. Come on.
Right, but not just them. There are other. But see, that's the thing too. I don't want that narrative where it's like PlayStation just has one developer making one game for. No. It's true. They have other teams making other games that are worth to play. To everyone, no. It's got to be your taste and to your liking and what you find acceptable and what you like. We just had the conversation. I'm not big on indie games, whereas the next person, you and somebody else, say I fucking love indie games. Every game's not meant for everyone. But I think the whole let's hate on something just for the fact to hate on it, I think that kind of sucks.
Well, that does suck, and we saw a lot of that this week, especially when they showed us Project Eve. It went from, oh, this game looks stupid and it sucks, to when they found out it was multi-plat, that whole narrative changed. Oh, wow, this looks really good. You know what? I changed my mind. Like, come on, really?
Exactly.
So
it went the other way as well. There were some people who were hyping it up, and then they found out it was multi-plat, and it was
and I'm making it a point here, and like I said, it's not about being it's not about being kumbaya, and it's not about being everybody. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and everybody can put out their own content and stuff like that. And there's a place in the world for all of it. All I'm saying is that I don't need somebody to tell me what I should be excited for and what I shouldn't be excited for personally as a gamer.
That's where my line is drawn. Like, that's where I draw my line. It's like, at the end of the day, those who know me. The Ginna knows me. Logic, obviously, know me. And those in the chat knows that I play fucking Xbox. That's all I do is I own an Xbox. I don't sit here and pretend I hate something and I buy it and then I show it off. Like, look, I hate it. See, I bought it and I still hate it. I don't do that. I bought it so I could give you my opinion on something like that. That's unfortunately not. It's not subjective. It's very objective. It's not like it's just like I bought it just to say that I bought it so I could get accreditation when I shit on it.
And so, so it's like,
I know what I'm talking about now. Sensei knows what he's talking about because he has a PlayStation 5. So him shitting on it makes sense. No, I'm not gonna.
It was like when you guys know when you talked about playing when you went away with your family,
right?
When you went with your family and you played.
I played Miles Morales. I played
Miles Morales.
I played the Astro Bot.
You remember that conversation that you shared about Miles Morales? Everybody under the sun. There's a lot of people. I won't say everybody. I don't speak in general. But there were people that were just like, "Hey, Miles Morales DLC," but it fucking launch title for PS5. And they got.
I was one of them. Oh, Miles Morales DLC. It's just a DLC. You're charging this much for DLC. Until I played it at the bed and breakfast at the what do you call that? The Airbnb with the family. They literally had a freaking PlayStation 5 at the Airbnb. I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try it out. I pick up the controller. I played Astrobot, Ratchet and Clank, and Miles Morales. Played those 3 games. Out of those 3, Miles Morales is the one that got me. I spoke about it because of what it did to me. It represented me. I was included in that game as a Puerto Rican, and it was like, wow. So at the end of the day, when I say a PlayStation Showcase got an 8 out of 10, I am comfortable with saying that. I'm not less of an Xbox gamer because I say that. There's too many people out there saying, "Oh my God, you're talking PlayStation." Oh, I'm talking games.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's what brings us together. Fucking video games. It's why I have this pod. It's video games. I'm not here to throw a fucking spear on you to say, "Hey, you hate that." No, who am I to tell you to play whatever you don't like and don't like? That's not me. At the end of the day, if I like a game, we'll talk about it. If I have not played a game, I'm not going to sit there and criticize something I haven't played yet at all. I'm not going to nitpick and go, look, you could go through that bush and the frame rates are dropping and look what this guy said. I don't care. Are you having fun with it? Great. Let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate that.
I didn't have a PS4. I skipped it. I had a PS3. I had all the PlayStations before that. I think there's enough games now that I can get I say I can see if I can get a PS5 next year.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'm going to catch up on some of those PS4 games I missed and the PS5 games that have released. Yeah, Spider-Man is one of the ones that interests me. Ratchet and Clank doesn't interest me.
I didn't like that.
It doesn't look good. It's not for me. But God of War definitely interests me. The second one looks great. So
I'm a platformer guy, and I didn't like that game. It was just too generic for me. There was nothing that excited me about that game.
I think you haven't played God of War, right?
No. I want to play it.
So you played God of War.
Are we talking like 2018 one?
2018.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's what I mean. I remember playing God of War at my brother's house first on his PlayStation. I bought the PlayStation just to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then when I got because we did the account sharing, I had access to all of his things. So I'm like, all right, I'm tired of. I've watched everybody and their mother play God of War. Now I'm gonna fucking play God of War.
Yeah.
And I sat there, I played God of War, and holy shit, what a fucking game! Like what a game! But that team, Cory Barlog, like that studio, like amazing. Like literally from start to finish,
the whole God of War franchise from David Jaffe starting it in the originals was great. From Cory taking over.
If you recall, like with that, like back then, but what they were able to turn it into in 2018, that evolution
to bring it up to date, to bring it up to the current time,
to what people were like, where it's semi-open world kind of, or how it would open up. Like it was linear in the beginning, but then it opens up a lot more. And to go to these different realms and stuff like that and have that openness to it and the gameplay mechanic and then the story and how the story was done and the actors just all the way through it full circle. And then the teaser that you got at the end of it saying, yo, Thor, and then now to see it come full circle. And then people said like, there were reports coming out that, oh, hey, they were going to continue it. And what you just saw now from Ragnarok was basically DLC that was too ambitious that they said, hey, and maybe I'm cool with that. I might be okay with that now because guess what? Now you're getting a full-fledged game that they had time to really work on instead of rushing a DLC project back in 2018.
And I will be remiss not to mention is Matt. We had Matt, who's one of our modders. He mentioned this as well. Remember that we're in a pandemic. 2018's God of War was made with mocap. They're not able to mocap at this very moment. They're not able to go in the studio and do the mocapping. Maybe they're restricted more than others or whatever the case may be. But they're not allowed to do what they did with the first 2018 God of War. They're not allowed to do that just yet. What they showed us was to say, you wanted a trailer was showing you that there's actual game being made. It's going to happen. I guarantee you when they showed us again, it'll be a whole different level of design and everything. What I did pick out of these trailers, though, is no, not the fucking boat. Jesus Christ, people with the boat. But what I did pick out is that Hub Worlds 2018 was one of my biggest gripes about God of War 2018 is that the world felt empty, the hubs.
Yeah.
There was no life to the hubs. Like when you get there, nobody was really there. The people you did see got killed. Spoiler alert. Sorry, Ginna. I mean, I'm sorry, Ginna. What I saw in this trailer, though, with the hub worlds that they're showing, life.
Yeah.
There was people there actually talking and interacting. Going, oh, okay.
It wasn't a couple of animals, or was it?
No.
It wasn't like,
See, and this is why One-Away, you're my guy, man. This is why I like One-Away, man. He another Xbox centric guy, but if you watch his channel, this guy keeps it real, man. He's balanced on both sides, but he's Xbox centric. Hopefully, One-Away, your card doesn't get taken away like mine did. I had to renew and go through the whole process, so hopefully you don't have to go through all that. But that DLC statement was false. It was a conversation taking way out of context.
But you know how big that thing blew up? Yeah. Or I'll give you the other one. And I don't want to focus on the negativity, but the negativity that was shown since fucking Thursday, Alana Pierce. We all know Alana Pierce from IGN. That's some bullshit. I'm sorry. If for those not aware too, somebody decided to meme Alana Pierce. They got her in her God of War shirt, being excited, happy. A couple of things to touch on. Say what you want about her as just like in the media scene and stuff like with IGN and stuff and how she is and stuff like that. Moving over, she works for Santa Monica. She, you know what I mean? She's been on the team. She's a writer now. She's a writer. She's a part of the dev team at them. This is no longer like writers aren't, a part of the team. That was another narrative too. Like, what the fuck do you do over there at the studio? It's like, I write. I write for, you know what I mean? Like, who the fuck are you, basically? So she was, and her reaction to this was.
By the way, does she need to justify that or tell us that?
But no, but this is what happens because people are just quick to be like, who, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't deserve the job that you got. You don't deserve where you are in your life because what you've done previously doesn't, show like now, or you haven't done anything. It's like, what have you done for me lately? And it's like, look. I did this, and they're like, nah, I don't give a shit. You're just a pretty face. And then I'm going to take you, and then I'm going to be like, and then whatever the meme was and how it was,
it was like, it was PS devs with her picture.
Oh, yeah, PS devs, her Xbox devs. And with another female who may have been.
Yes, it was Ross, yeah.
Yeah, head of 343. Yeah.
Head of 343. So it's like, so what we're doing crazy, here, and then somebody tried to do that as like a fucking joke, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like what? Like and then it got blown up and stuff, and then she had, of course, Corey had to come out on the timeline and go like, what are we? She had to address it because, but it's sad that we have to address shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's people want to make a laugh. That's the internet. That's unfortunately what you expose yourself to when you go into this stuff, but. It's disappointing to see that, we just had this whole fucking conversation about Activision Blizzard.
I gotta interject. This is the internet thing. I get it. It's the internet, but there are troll accounts that are troll accounts, and that they're joking. There are troll accounts out there that are troll accounts, and haha, that's funny. What that dude did, whoever that person was, that account, that was not troll. That was literally you looking for reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what makes it worse is that this is
to incite, basically.
Right, to incite. Yeah. But what makes it even worse is that this is what we're retweeting, which I fall into that. Retweeting and sharing and putting exposure on it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I've learned my lesson with this, we got to stop sharing this crap. Just block and move on. Block and move the hell on. Stop exposing this because there are people out there who see this and they may not tell you on Twitter world, wow, that's bad. Or they'll tell you on Twitter it's bad, but behind the scenes they're probably going, "Wow!" They're sharing it with the circles. It's like we got to stop this kind of this behavior. Yeah, like, what is this? Like, we're celebrating this, a person with 2.5 million views because they got retweeted by devs because he called out God of War. This is what we celebrate on Twitter. Woo! Look, nobody else is gonna have this. JK, it's a troll account. You took it serious. That's your fault for taking it serious. Stop that. That was going to be my end thing, but it's crazy how that's what we celebrate nowadays. We don't celebrate games anymore. There's a lot of accounts out there that don't celebrate games, and this is what we're rooting on. If it's a PlayStation logo, let's hate it. If it's a fucking Xbox logo, we hate it. Like, it's not a kumbaya thing. It's you're an asshole at the end of the day by doing that. You're just a straight asshat. I don't care about the history of what happened in Nintendo with Sega days. I don't care about that. I lived it. I'm fucking 43 years old. Wow, I forgot my age. I'm 43 years old.
He's going senile.
I lived it. I don't need you to tell me over and over again or remember when this. I don't give a shit. Grow the fuck up. Play your games. How you want to say it, and stop telling people that what they play is wrong because it's a PlayStation brand or it's an Xbox brand. Stop that. Grow the fuck up.
It was a similar thing with the God of War with the characters where everyone was complaining, "Oh no, that's not Fat 4 doesn't look right. We should have the big muscly one."
I had to post that one too. It's like how many people are fucking keen to Norse mythology? And then to know that it's
that's another
interpretation. One. That was another one because I saw something and then I had to take that screenshot because somebody negatively put it and just automatically assumed, oh hey, Santa Monica's doing Fat Thor because Marvel did it.
Fat Thor.
Yeah.
Not realizing too. Remember, Marvel, even though they were still like, all the reports came out after the fact because people were pissed. Like, wait, why does Chris Hemsworth look like that now in Avengers and stuff like that in Endgame? And not realizing, remember the whole PTSD thing, right?
Yeah.
There was reasons for him doing that, but then also too, the comic book depiction of Thor literally looks like fucking Chris Hemsworth. It's the blonde on the chair, but every other picture, every reading, if you actually read it to Norse mythology, Thor's got red fucking hair.
Yep.
And he's known to be technically like he eats, he overindulge in food and stuff like that. And also, too, if you want to think about, like, your Nordic, like, people or your Vikings or your strongmen, look at the fucking metric strongmen in the world and stuff like that. And look at the bodies these people have that they're pulling.
Yes.
Big belly, huge muscles everywhere.
So it's like, so people will literally find anything at this point to go and attack and whatever like that. So it's just, like I said, I'm all for artist interpretation, but also too, they're they're trying to be as close as they can to the Norse mythology as possible. But then also to the adverse is true because when they show like the giant at the end there was a lot of kickback from that too. And I'm going to go there. And then we could start that whole racism conversation where it's like they don't like how they're depicting one of the giants as not as having dark skin. And I'm saying to myself, how the fuck do you know or don't know, like, what color, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what, like, it's so fucking crazy.
They had that picture of the girls, didn't they? And they put her on an app to turn her white and were saying fixed it. It's like, fuck off. What's wrong with you people?
Yes, it's like fuck off with that shit. I don't want to see that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't see this rage when blonde hair, blue eyed Thor was in the MCU. I don't see none of this ever come out about.
But the moment they made them that chubby, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, everybody ate that shit up because it was fucking eye candy. I don't know what Chris Hemsworth did before the Avengers and before Thor and stuff like that. But there's a lot of reasons why you could say he got casted in the fucking first place. Okay. Like, let's not to say that he's not an amazing actor and stuff like that. And he doesn't have talent. He's been in other movies.
Not take away from that.
I don't want to take away from that, but it was also kind of like they cast it, whatever. Like, they found somebody close to whatever the comic book depiction was, and the comic book depiction had Thor with, like, in Marvel comic, with blonde long locks. Okay. Yeah. But that's not how it was. And I'm not going to sit here and try to be like I'm a Norse mythology fucking like researcher. Like, I didn't fucking go to school for this. No. But it's a couple of Google searches.
But to lead with, what did you guys do with him? You messed up my Thor. How did they mess it up? If you read, it's like the telephone game, Chinese Whispers. If you read a book, if we all read the same book, and we're told at the end of reading that book, let's come together and talk about what you thought about that book, we're all going to have different views and images of what we thought that character was looking like, you know?
Yeah.
That's what this is. The person who created this character in this God of War game, that's his depiction of Thor. That's what he sees Thor as. And accurately, red hair. You know, I mean, accurately to the pictures.
It's accurate to whatever
he was reading, yes. Because you do have your pictures of blonde hair Thor, and you have your picture of red hair Thor. But he saw it as, this is what my Thor is. And just the people to go crazy and overboard on this kind of stuff, at the end of the day, it's not, they don't even care about the game. They probably won't even play it. They probably won't even pick it up. They just, Sony, that's it. We got to hate on it. Because that person said they got to hate on my game, I got to hate it. Go play a game.
Go play a game. or go outside at that, or go
outside, breathe air, man. Look at the sun, do something. Because at the end of the day, your argument is, oh, they did it, so I got to do it too. Bro, are you too? I mean, I know we play video games, and that's for kids, and we're grown adults playing kids' games. But what are you doing? What are you? You're out there.
The banter and the back and forth and the talking shit is great. But when you go and you physically threaten, attack, harass people, and you want to have these conversations and stuff, and wish bad about people because you don't like the direction a fucking game went, or because of how somebody's being depicted inside of a fucking game, like, you're taking it a little too serious, my guy.
Yeah, you're taking a kid's game that we play as an adult way too serious. You know, it's one of those things was like, you know, oh, he hit me first, I gotta hit him back. What the fuck are you? You in kindergarten, bro? Like, what was going on here? So that was my rant.
I touched on a couple of things you've raised.
Yeah, yeah.
So the whole, like, you know, back and forth between communities. One good thing that happened when I did that Indy video was Wooly Gamer, who I've chatted to a few times, and you know, he's very pro PlayStation, loves sharing memes.
Can you tell him to unblock me, please? Since you have a direct on him, unblock me. I don't do nothing wrong with that guy.
No, I'll have a word with him. But he literally shared the video whilst it was live, and then put on there, these devs, you know, and some of the games aren't even available on PlayStation, but you know, these games are great. I've heard about these games, and I've played some of these games, support them. And then it was just people messaging me and him and buying the games to try and help and support these devs. Like, you know, like everything was put aside. They didn't care what platform it was. They were just buying the game to try and help them. And then something Logic said about Chris Hemsworth. Funny enough, before he got cast as Thor, Tom Hiddleston auditioned as Thor. And you're not going to tell me he's not a better actor. But there's no way in hell he was ever going to look like Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
No matter how much he went to the gym. So yeah, Chris Hemsworth
10 times better than he's a great.
But then you see him as but then you see everything that has transpired now between him depicting Loki inside of MCU, and then now to basically showing at least he got his dues. They gave him his own fucking TV show, and now he's at this, like, he spawned basically the next evolution.
I think he's the most liked character in the MCU world. I'm not mistaken.
As a semi villain turned, like, kind of like turned.
Well, because he started off bad, and now he's into that realm.
Turned, like, you know, baby face basically.
Yeah, he's a baby face now. So, but
and you're right. Ginger. We almost had a Ginger 4. I mean, the irony of it all, we almost had one.
Yes, he doesn't have jet black hair like Bo Snake. The man is a ginger. But you're right. You're right. Like, his acting is like certain, and again, not taking away from Hemsworth, but his acting surpasses. Like, he's classically trained on stage and all that stuff. So his thing is just amazing. He went out for Thor, and obviously he didn't get it because, to Logic's point, you know, blonde hair at the time, the comic books, the lot,
and then the built, and how big. Like, if you look at the stature of Hemsworth when he bulked up and stuff like that, like, it's fucking crazy when you see him, like, you know. But
rolling rage. No, not insinuating.
Any closing thoughts?
That was I burned it on that. That was my closing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just what it is. Listen, it's everybody could do content and speak their truth and their opinions however they want to do it. That's fine, and no one's going to cite you for it. But if we could try to just keep it just a tad bit more respectable,
keep it civil,
just a little bit more respectable would be cool. If you don't like something, that's your right to not like it, and if you want to express that opinion, that's fine. But just realize that it's your opinion, and they're going to be other people that don't share it the same way.
Stop pushing facts. Stop pushing your opinions on people.
And just to Kill's point as well, too, just because somebody else does something to you or to the community that you're necessarily a part of doesn't mean you have to respond back in jest. You could take the other route and just continue with what you're doing.
Correct.
And I think these people need to remember that, yes, Twitter is kind of anonymous, but you can still get suspended. And some people could, you know, it has happened where people have found out who people are from Twitter. So if you're going to start posting sexist or racist shit and that is, you know, you think it's funny and it's not something you believe in, that shit could come back to bite you in the ass.
It's not a joke. It'll bite you hard.
I didn't mean it. And then you worry why your next job doesn't want to fucking hire you because all they had to do was Google your name and you ended up coming up in a search directory. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
and you can come across a weirdo on the internet that is dedicated to finding people in real life, and it's not that hard. I've watched TikTok videos where a lady saw only a hand of the video and she had 2 birthmarks on it, and she was being racist in the video, just no voice, just picking a cotton, right? Somebody got that video and literally got all the way through it to find out where she works at, where she lives at, and they hit her hard. Like, she got fired from a job. She got, banned from TikTok world, like, all because of those 2 birthmarks. They found it on Facebook. They found her face on Facebook. Crazy. It's just a whole bunch of things that can happen. So you guys who think, oh, I'm anonymous, I can say whatever the fuck I want on Twitter or on social media, gotta be careful with that shit. And it's like Reddit is saying, man, and I'll put it up here. Well, I'm not going to put that up there because it incites violence, but it's simple. I'll read it. Just ask yourself if what you're about to say on Twitter will get you punched in the throat in person. If it would, don't post it. That's as blunt as it gets, man. If you wouldn't say that to a person in real life, why would you put it on Twitter? Yeah. I guess that's the part right there. Why they put it on Twitter. They feel big at that.
Because they feel big. Because they feel empowered, and they feel like nothing could happen to them.
Yeah, and some of these guys have gotten their accounts suspended a few times, and they keep coming back, making more just to talk more shit. Wow, you must love it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, that's the final thought on that. Going forward, you guys know we talk games here. That's what we do. We love a game. It brought us together, us three here. And like I say to all my special guests that come on the show, Ginna, you have the keys to the show. So whenever you want to come on, hit me up, hit Logic up. You're more than welcome back, brother. We love having you here. Your takes on the gaming world, especially with the independent video you put up there, is beautiful. And also the top 5, by the way, we're number 1, spoiler alert, on his top 5 pods is up there too. So we'll put those links up. I'll put that up there. Any final thoughts, Ginna?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything half, haven't we? It's it's just don't be an asshole online, I guess, is the main takeaway today.
Try your best. Just try a little bit. Not even try your best. Just try. Just a little effort.
Say thank you once, at least once a day until it grows to twice and 3. Thank you. You're welcome. Try those 2.
You can have a preference. Like, I'm sat here in an Xbox jersey trying to preach, middle of the road. It's not going to happen. I prefer Xbox. Even when I get my PS5, I'm going to play my Xbox more. But what I'm not going to do is pretend that there's no games on PlayStation that I would want to play. And vice versa. When I see PlayStation guys going, some of them did it after the show, I'm selling my Xbox. And it's like, well, those games ain't coming out for 2 years. What are you doing? Like, just keep your Xbox and play all them for 2 years, and then play your PlayStation games.
It's the fake rage. It's like the whole, it doesn't have co-op, I'm not going to play it. That's the same crowd that may only play launch window, and they won't play it again ever again. Because if you tell me that's what you buy Halo for, that tells me you don't play multiplayer. So it's all
thing today, wasn't there? About
that's my whole thing. You see these guys all day, every day on Twitter. They wake up with hate and they tweet hate. They go to bed with tweeting hate, and not once are they celebrating the platform they prefer. It's like, let me see what you're playing. Have fun with your playing. Stop throwing monkey shit to the other side.
Or by celebrating the platform, they're just quick to shit on. They can't celebrate one.
They can't celebrate without shitting on one. Yeah. I love my Xbox because the PlayStation sucks. I love my PlayStation because the Xbox. And
I'm going to tell you, here's point A, point B, point C, point D.
They got bulletins. These are the guys that screenshot everything and then come back 6 months later and go, remember this? I don't know you're seeing this because apparently we can't grow no more. Remember this? Whatever. Anyways, that puts a nail on that conversation. That brings us to the end of the show. But before we go, I want to say thank you to all our listeners and watchers who come into these chats. You guys
made it this far.
If you made it this far. You guys are beautiful. I saw we capped at 17 people in the chat. I think that's the most we've had in a long time. I appreciate that. Ginna is I love this man. I hope he comes back. I hope he takes it. I'm probably going to invite him every goddamn week. But love this man. Watch his videos. I'll put the links up there. It's already been spammed in the chat. The last thing I want to mention is milestones for us here at Sensei's Thoughts. I was doing this week, as Logic, I was uploading all fucking episodes onto Spotify.
Yeah, man.
What a task, especially when you're dealing with Spectrum. I love you, Spectrum. Keep it up. So uploading those videos, all but one is on Spotify and all of your listening platforms, whether it be Apple, Google, Spotify. All but one, which I don't know why it doesn't let me upload it, but it's episode 16. But you have 1 through 25 now, because we have 25 here, without episode 16. But I did upload that. It's been getting a lot of traction. I just looked at the thing. People are actually, without me even promoting it, people are actually tuning in, because we tend to figure we do the visual side of things on YouTube, but there's a lot of traditional podcast listeners especially across the pond, our brothers out there where they listen to it traditionally. For them, it's easier to just pop it in and listen to it. And I keep forgetting with YouTube, unless you have the premium service, you can't close out your window, because if you close it out on your phone, you close out the whole thing. So you dedicate
unless you have premium, yeah.
Right. So that's where that traffic comes from. So everything is uploaded. Any new episode like this one will be uploaded every Wednesday on Spotify for you guys to listen to it there. But I want to also mention we have over 3,000 views on this YouTube channel. Over 500 hours have been watched. And that is something that always it gives me goosebumps to know that starting like back in March when we started this, it was let's give it a try, to now we're over 500 hours watched by you guys. I appreciate you guys. 194 subs to the channel. That's all thanks to you guys, and it tells us we have content you guys want to listen to. And I appreciate that. Hopefully we can keep that up for you guys. But to all our modders in our chat, thank you guys for coming each and every week and keeping our chats clean. You guys are heroes, unsung heroes there. And what else? Oh, the giveaway. We still doing that giveaway. 2 controllers. You guys, I don't know if you guys see this shit, but you know, I'm like at this point, I'm whoring the fuck out of these controllers. Anybody want this shit?
Yes.
I got 2 Looney Tune controller thingies that I want to give away. And my son's already looking at him like,
yeah, eye candy.
Yeah, he's like telling his friends, "Don't sub to my dad's channel. I want those controllers." Little shit. Anyway,
everybody. I'm telling my cousin's boyfriend. My son. I know you want to hear the weird realization real quick, and I know we're wrapping this up, but my cousin who's in college now, she hits me up, and then I hadn't spoke with her boyfriend, but she wanted to introduce her boyfriend to me and stuff like that. So it's my younger cousin, and so I introduced myself. Next thing you know, I find out he's like a huge fucking League of Legends fan. So there we are. So the first phone call that we have is a 3-way FaceTime call with me, her boyfriend, and her, and we're literally like talking about League of Legends for 45 minutes, and she's just got this fucking face on her. Like it's like when when you and you guys are having a conversation, and then your wife's probably like not interested like at all. Like you know what I mean? Like just like totally tuned out. That's literally my cousin. So that was the funniest shit. But like I'm like, oh, and by the way, I do, and I managed to slip this in. I do a weekly podcast. Go subscribe. I'm doing giveaways.
Thank you for sharing that, because it's weird for me to be around family and friends.
Fuck that, everybody.
And shamelessly plug, like, hey, by the way, like I've stopped conversations at a dinner table with that before. Like I have friends and family over one time,
yeah,
and I would be like, oh, but like we just shitting the shit, and I just come out of nowhere, like awkwardly. My wife's like shoved, and she's like, talk about your podcast. And I'm like, hey guys, by the way, I do a weekly podcast with my guy, and yeah, you can watch it and they're looking at me like chirp, like, okay, that was cool. Can we move on to like actual real life shit? And I'm like, wow, okay, let's talk about Days of Our Lives, assholes. Like, I don't know what the hell y'all want to talk about.
It had to be Days of Our Lives. What a fucking, oh my god.
Hey, that was my show, my soap opera back in the days. Days of Our Lives, Marlena and you know, John and them out there. Yeah, okay. Sammy. You know,
all right.
Where my Days of Life heads at? Y'all know I know the chat.
Listen, we're holding Ginna hostage at this point.
Right, we're holding people hostage.
Let's wrap it up.
I just want to say, if you need to get rid of those controllers, I got that Halo Infinite Series X coming, and I don't want to use that controller because I'll ruin it. So I'll happily take one of them off you. Just use that instead, you know.
Fabio's in there too, talking about giving to me. Look at that money. It's like, go ahead and talk about us, man. Promote us. But anyways, we're gonna get out of here. The Ginna. I keep saying the Ginna like real fun, but Ginna, where can they find you at?
So I'm on YouTube as the Ginna. Turns out that was an easy one to get. Not many people chasing that one. I'm on Twitter at the Ginna Gaming, and every Saturday at 8 p.m. UK time. I'm not sure what time that is at other places because I'm too lazy to check. I'm on the XBL Party podcast with some of the guys like Redders and Fabio, etc. Yeah, it's good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, no worries.
Thanks for coming on.
That is 3 p.m. Eastern time, our time, 8 p.m. theirs. But they're on. But it's every Saturday, man. Those guys they're killing it over there too. Their chat is crazy live. So you guys want to go there and check them out every Saturday. But yeah. And then you'll have his links for what we talked about today in our channel, as always. Yeah, that's it, man. Another Sunday in the book, episode 25. 25 of these shits has been done. God, you guys must hate your life to come to this show every single day and watch us. But with that being said, we are now at the 2 hours and 8-minute mark. Thank you for those still watching. And for those watching us on replay, I appreciate you every single day. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this out, guys. Let it help us grow, support, and love. But other than that, as I always say every single week, until next Sunday, happy fucking gaming.